Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. This is episode 922, and this is just not any average episode of the Two Dum Yinzers, everybody. This is the beginning of Frenzy, free agent frenzy. I'm sorry, Mike. Today is Tampering Monday. The tampering period starts. Time to tamper it is, Mike, and this is the big week that we've all been waiting for. Free agency kicks off at 4 o'clock on Wednesday. But, Mike, the tampering period literally started about 58 seconds ago here with the NFL in the free agency season. Gosh, damn it. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, wherever you're at. Mike, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. How you doing today, man?
Oh, I am pumped up, fired up, ready to rock and roll, baby. The start of the NFL offseason has officially begun.
You know, Mike, this is a really special day. We really, talk this up. It's going to be a lot going on this week. Mike, faces are going to be moving from team to team. There's going to be different people released, different people signed, all kind of stuff. Mike, things that already kicked off this morning here in Pittsburgh with a couple players. So much to go on this week. So much. And as I said, Mike, it's a lot of changes that happened this week because of the faces going to different teams. And again, today starts the tampering period. This started at noon just 3 minutes ago. And again, this is working into the free agency period, kicking off for the new NFL year on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Mike. And you know what? We wouldn't have a special thing going on the show without having any special guests. Today, Mike, I want to introduce to everybody a friend of ours. This is somebody that has been a friend for some time. Mike, let's do welcome. Hold on, let me get it. All right. And
I'm back.
What's up, Derpy? Derpy, everybody. Glad to see you here, brother. How you been, man?
I'm all right. How are you fellas doing?
We're doing well. We're doing well. It's time to tamper, brother. Are you ready to do some tampering?
100%.
All right. Mike, look, it's Derpy.
Yay. There's much rejoicing.
He's mad. He's mad. He's bald and mad.
I'm big mad that now I have to share screen space with Derpy once again.
Derpy is here for free agency, guys. Everybody is here for free agency. It's time to get into it. This is, again, time to tamper. Today starts the tampering period in the NFL. So much to get into, so much to go talk about today. Let me get on the board, Mike. I don't want to miss anybody bright and early. Let's say hi to everybody on the board. Good morning. Good morning to Brian Pasquale, brother. How you doing, man? Hope everything is going well for you. RB says this. Good afternoon, guys. I love bringing Samuel back. If there really is a market for Pierre, I hope we don't get honeypotted into chasing him. Just pay a few bucks more for Rick Woolen. Absolutely. It's from Seattle, looking to move him. And again, Mike, up to 8 or 9 teams right now are interested in James Pierre. From what I was reading this morning, 8 or 9 teams. So that's going to be interesting to see how his situation plays out.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat, I do want to say thank you to Tortilla on the super chat. He says Derpy has signed a 2-year contract with the 2 Dum Yinzers. Derpy, welcome back.
I did.
What a big what big news for the beginning of tampering here in the free agency frenzy, guys. That is this week in the NFL. We got a lot going on.
We have an alert.
What's the alert?
As all the teams that were focused on Alec Pierce, forget about it because he signed with Indianapolis to a 4-year, $114 million contract.
James Pierre.
Pierce. Alec Pierce.
Oh, that sucks.
I know.
That was somebody that we were certainly interested in, guys. Alec Pierce off the table with the big contract. I was going to say it's a lot of money for James Pierre. Pierce is off the table, guys. Of course, from Indianapolis, somebody that we was hoping to see here in Pittsburgh. Really nice numbers as of late, Mike. Pierce. Going back to Indianapolis. Let's move along on the board. Vegas says, what's good, fellas? What's good, brother? Always great seeing Vegas on the terrible board. As always, hope things are going well out in Vegas. Good morning to Tortilla, all the way from Sacramento, California. He says, long live, long stream. My brother, always great seeing Tortilla Jackson. Big John Stud, middle name Mud, says over under on the number of times Howard being mentioned for starting quarterback.
50.
Great seeing you, John. As always, Bot Ricks, I do want to say welcome to the show. Also, I do want to see, go to RB says, I'd love to see the national phone usage heat map for 11:58, then again at 12:02. Vegas says, there's King Derpy in the house. Also, Yinzer Joe, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Yinzer Joe. He says, what's up, Yinzers? My man, always great seeing Yinzer Joe. RB follows it up by saying, yay, Derpy finished his community service for that public masturbation charge.
Why you going to do me like that?
Also, he follows it up by saying they're going to trade Pittman then. More than likely, over Indianapolis. Yep. It makes a lot of sense, guys. Welcome back. This is time to tamper during free agent frenzy week, guys. Welcome back to the show. Glad to see everybody. So much stuff to get into, Mike. I'm going to save till the very end just because there's so much football, there's so much NFL, there's so much Steelers happening and on the horizon. We're going to hit all the details on how our other teams in Pittsburgh did more near the end of the show. Today, we are going to focus on the free agent frenzy. This is not crazy, guys. This is what we're going to do today. Welcome back to the show. Tortilla says this: if the Steelers facility had more bathrooms, Derpy wouldn't have got caught. Maybe that's our problem.
Yes.
Maybe we need more restrooms here at our facility.
I think we need less, actually. We need less for Derpy. You know, he can go outside.
John's coming in and saying this. He says, I love me some hologram Derpy. I love me some hologram Derpy. And I got to be honest with you guys. I stopped in and I just went off subject real quick. I was checking Derpy out last night on his nerd show, and it's good. If you're into nerdy things and you're into movies and superheroes, I'm going to be honest. I'm not, but I was able to learn quite a bit by watching the show. And one thing that I did find interesting, Derpy, was you kind of bumped heads with the other nerd last night. And listen, it's not a bad thing. I was highly entertained by it. You called him a goody two shoes. You called him a hater. Multiple occasions you did take shots at the other nerd, and you know what I thought? Good for his 2 Dum Yinzers was really showing last night in his nerd show, and I got to be honest, Derpy, I was there for it. I watched the whole entire time that you were on. I thought you did very well.
Appreciate it, Ryan.
Of course, man. Let's go to RB. He says, "Wow, highest paid free agent wide receiver ever. Massive overpay." You're probably right, RB.
Yep.
And he follows it up by saying, God damn, I bought the same mic as Derpy. That's all good, brother. That's all good. And the Derpy fire. You know what? If he could have, he would have. I'll just leave it at that. It's good. They're both good in their own way. And they clash heads, and it's really good. Again, check that out. Seriously, I'm not just saying that. go check out Derpy's Nerd Show at 9:30 on Sunday nights. It was entertaining, and again, I learned a lot about the Green Lantern, which again, I didn't know anything about the Green Lantern just 2 days ago. So good stuff. Go check it out. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Things are happening this morning. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into what's going on. Somber, my man, always great seeing you, brother, on the terrible board. Hope things are going well for you, bro. You're here. It's free agent frenzy. It's time to tamper. Let's get into things, guys. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say just some things that happened over the weekend, Mike. Just to put some things out on the table. And these aren't even things that are totally concerning us, but we're going to get into all this stuff, Mike. Max Crosby, the big story at the end of the week last week. I think we just missed the story. He, in fact, is going to Baltimore for two first-round picks. One pick this year, one pick next year in the first round. Mike, and again, we're not. Max Crosby never had 15 sacks in a season. Is two first-round picks too much to give for a Max Crosby? And again, there's only about 11 guys in the history of the NFL that's been traded for two first-round picks. But for a guy that's never had 15 sacks in a season, did Oakland get fleeced? And you know what? If they did, is it just another day in Oakland? Or I'm sorry, Las Vegas?
I think Vegas made out really well in the trade. I mean
Baltimore. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. I knew. I think that was a massive overpay on the part of Baltimore. You make that move if you think you're one piece away, and then he's going to be the guy on the defense to push you over the top. Now, as we saw last year, that defense needs more than Max Crosby. Like I would not have given up 2 first-round picks for him. I would have sat where I was at 14. I would have added taken one of the receivers that could potentially fall to the Steelers at 21, or now the Steelers can trade up and get their guy. Now they don't have to worry about Baltimore being there. I think Baltimore kind of screwed up in that trade. Max Crosby, he's been up and down the past couple years. So I think it was a massive overtrade for them. It was a big mistake.
And what we're going to do today, the guys, everybody involved with the show is keeping a close eye on everything. So we'll be giving you updates throughout the show as things happen. Derpy just reported that Draymond Jones to the Patriots. Also, he did say this as well. 49ers willing to trade Trent Williams now. So we got a lot of things going on. Max Crosby to the Ravens. I think they got fleeced, Mike. That's a lot to give up for a guy that never had 15 sacks in a season. But I got to be honest with you, Joe Burrow has to be shitting, Mike, because he's not only facing TJ Watt in the division, not facing him and Myles Garrett in the division, he's now facing Max Crosby, Mike. And if they don't get that offensive line fixed in Cincinnati, I could see this being a rough next few years for Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And then now they even lost. They don't even have Trey Hendrickson. They don't even have a guy on defense that can wreak havoc. I'm kind of glad they're in our division. Yes, they have a scary offense, but that the defense is not scary, and their O-line is shaky. And yes, Derpy, I see the breaking news. Eric Stokes, cornerback, has signed with the Raiders, re-signing with the Raiders, 3 years, $30 million.
I'm Mike, and again, Derpy's going to keep us up to date. Mike's going to keep us up to date. When Mike gets news, you will hear the bell. Mike, ring the bell.
I'm trying to ring the bell. It does not want to work with me, but here we go. Let's try this thing. Give me my alert sound.
Can you just make the bell sound with your mouth if that don't
ding,
work?
Ding.
All right, do that. Nobody will mistake that. Let's do a move on, Mike. And again, it was only 16 players have ever been traded for 2 first-round draft picks. I wanted to make that correct. Also, the Raiders, while speaking of the Raiders, they did release Geno Smith. He is out there and available. The Houston Texans did release Joe Mixon. He is out there and available. Also, the Dolphins, they released Tua. Guys, Tua, everybody's I don't know what he is, but I think that he's gonna have a hard time finding a job. I'm just gonna be honest with you, Mike.
No, the reports are that the Falcons are trying to beat the rush to sign Tua.
That is true. And you know what? The Falcons will jump at every opportunity to make a bad signing. They do it every year. Don't surprise me. I stand corrected. Also, Mike, Green Bay defensive tackle Rashawn Gary to Dallas for a 2027 late round pick. Mike, all kind of things going on so far. It's free agency time. Tyro, my man, my brother, is in the house. Always great seeing you, Ty. JPJ, the GOAT, as always. No, Ty, you were the GOAT. But welcome, guys. It's time to tamper, and this is free agency frenzy week. This is what we all been waiting for, Mike. This is the big week, and then again in 45 days, just 45 days, we're all going to be heading down to the North Shore. We're all going to be heading down to Point State Park. We're all going to be heading down to the bridge to get it in, Mike, as the draft is coming in just 45 days. If you're coming from out of town or if you're even in town, do not be afraid to, or do not forget to get on and register, get your free entry, all that good stuff. You don't want to be trying to deal with that at the last moment with 700,000 people everywhere, getting on your nerves. Yes, and that is 100% true. Minka did go to the Jets, guys. He's going to the Jets. Minka Fitzpatrick will not be a Steeler this year. He couldn't be available via trade, Mike, but he was available if he was released, but that isn't going to happen. The Jets, Minka Fitzpatrick.
They trade him to get a 7th round pick. I don't get this move, because if I was them, why wouldn't you release him, let him get signed elsewhere, where I think he re-upped with the Jets, extended a contract. You can add that into your compensatory draft pick formula. Like, to me, it's just another classic blunder by the Jets, or by the Dolphins. Excuse me.
Well,
like you release him, and then you can get yourself add him into the compensatory pick. Your Tua's going to sign elsewhere. That's not really going to help you. But my God, like, this is a piss poor organization. And then the Jets, if they extended Minka, I think that was a bad move too. I think his best years are well past him.
And unless it's a misprint, Mike, this is the information I got regarding Minka Fitzpatrick. Minka is getting traded to the Jets this morning for 26 7th round pick from the season from the LA Chargers. From the Chargers, is there some kind of trade or something going with 3 teams? Because unless it's a misprint.
I think the Jets had that pick already.
Gotcha.
And that's the pick they sent. And RB, I believe you're right. I think that is correct. Like, if you cut a guy, you can't use him for the comp formula. You are correct. I forgot about that. That was my bad. So the Dolphins didn't fuck up.
All right, let's get back to the board. I don't want to leave anybody out today. Today is big, Mike. Again, this is free agent frenzy starting today. Today is the tampering period. Today at noon it started, and then there's a 52-hour period to tamper. That's right, 52 hours to tamper. And then on Wednesday afternoon at 4:00 p.m., the new NFL year starts, in the official start of free agency begins. Derpy, let me just jump over to you real quick. Anything regarding any of these moves that we've mentioned so far on the show?
Anything regarding? What do you
Yeah, just any
Anything
word.
to add, buddy?
Oh, I put it in the private chat, but
All right. Any opinions on any of the moves, any of the signings made today?
The Colts one is pretty interesting. Signing back Alec Pierce.
It's a big contract.
That is a big. That's an overpay, in my opinion. But I guess he deserves it. What else? Mika going to the Jets was. I feel bad for the dude because it's the Jets. Like, terribly bad because it's the Jets.
I agree. You know what though? It's unfortunate, but it's kind of where Minka's at in his career. Unfortunately,
You're right.
And Minka Fitzpatrick, he had more interceptions last year than the Jets combined. The Jets had 0. Minka had
that's
1.
right. They had 0 interceptions last year.
That's terrible.
That's a 100% improvement right there for them.
I like the Samuel re-signing, though. I really do, because he didn't really get the truly play, but he definitely proved himself worthy that he definitely deserved a contract to come back to the Steelers.
I like Asante Samuel, and also again with Cole Holcomb re-signing this morning, guys. Those are 2 things that did happen. We had Cole Holcomb. We're re-signing him for a 2-year, $5 million contract, which is a good depth signing. It's cheap. It's not a lot of money, and he could fill depth at that inside linebacker position. And also Asante Samuel Jr. Today being signed to a 1-year, $4 million contract. Asante Samuel might play opposite side of Joey Porter Jr. at this time. Again, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen throughout free agency. We don't know what's going to happen with James Pierre, but we do know that there's about 8 8 or 9 teams right now interested in our free agent James Pierre, who's picked up last year. Mike certainly spiked his performance last year compared to the years prior.
Oh yeah, it was a shock how well he played down the stretch. Because he would show flashes here and there. You see him for a game, he'd be good. Then play like 3 games, he'd be like trash. Like, oh my god, why do we have this guy? Then this year he finally put it all together. Perfect time for him too. Now that the free agent market for cornerbacks, man, guys are getting paid. Kind of echo what like RB said. Don't overpay for him. A little bit more for him to keep him in the fold for a year would be awesome, but don't go breaking the bank with James Pierre. Like Tariq Woolen, I wanted him when he was coming out of the draft a few years ago. I think he's gotten better year over year. You add him and Joey Porter, Asante Samuels, and get someone else in the draft who can play the slot. I'm loving our cornerback room.
It's sounding good. Let me get Derpy's last message on he got me updating on the personal chat. Also, Mike, make the comment about the wide receiver from Atlanta or going to Atlanta.
Almade Zacchaeus to the Falcons.
He was on the Bears. He was on the Bears.
From the Bears to the Falcons.
Amadeus Wolfgang Mozart.
Zacharias, he is going to the Falcons, guys. That is also going on now. A couple other things, Mike. The rumors this morning, as I'm trying to dig up material for the show, Mike, I'm reading that Travis Kelce to the Browns is something that is being spoken about in the football world, Mike, whether it comes to fruition, whether it doesn't. Travis Kelce, is there a chance he goes to Cleveland? And if he does, does it make any difference in Cleveland?
No, it looks like that rumor was squashed quickly. It looks like he is definitely going to be back in Kansas City. I think that was a lot of wishful thinking by Browns fans and Browns media for him to, come home and retire and his quasi hometown.
That's right. They're from Ohio, huh?
Yeah, they're from Berea, so I think that's where they were from. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Now, you know what? Now that I know that, they really look like they're from Ohio. They just have that dumpty Ohio look to them. As I'm speaking to 2 guys that are from Ohio, but
hey, I just live there. I wasn't born there.
Let me get back on the board. Great to see everybody today. Welcome back. Good afternoon. It is Tamper time here in this free agent frenzy week, guys. Just 45 days before the NFL draft right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm going to go right here to RB where he says this. Way to go, Derpy. I was going to try to stop by, but the wife was not. Yep, that's fine, bro. RB did have something going on today, but he's going to be on, I think this week. A lot of things that I can't wait to talk to RB about, as he is just overfilling with information about the draft and guys coming out of the draft. Super excited to talk to RB. Somber says Pat's closing a deal with Draymond Jones. Aaron J, there it is, Mike. There it is. It's off to a good week.
There we go, baby.
Couldn't start free agent frenzy without the Here We Go Steelers and the Rockets message. As always, great to see Aaron. Always good to see you, brother. RB says this, that Pierce deal is really going to F up the wide receiver market again. This was that Christian Kirk mess from 3 years ago all over again. These guys are now going to pull back and regroup now. Yinzer Joe says Derpy sitting like the Hasbro toy in a chair called Weebles. They weeble and wobble, but don't fall down.
Why am I so delayed? Jeez.
You're good, bro. You're looking good. I got to be honest with you. Going with the Kenneth right here. What's up, dude? Always great seeing the great Kenneth Jones on the terrible board, my man. Tortilla Jackson says Joe Burrow was seen with Jessica Alba at a casino. What do you do when you know your life is over? Bag the baddest bitch you know and go gamble.
No, not bad life advice.
Come on. No, not bad life advice at all. John at Steeler Freak says this, Linderbaum may leave while they gain Crosby. I step forward, 1 step forward and 1 step back.
Yep.
Ty, my man, Somber. What's that?
Kenneth Walker
to the Chiefs.
And there you go, guys. Live as we're on right now speaking, Kenneth Walker III, the MVP of the Super Bowl from the Seattle Seahawks, going to the Chiefs. We were somewhat hopeful that maybe he would land here, guys. Kenneth Walker III going to the Chiefs. It's happening right now. Guys, welcome to the show. If you're just tuning in, this is Tamper Monday, I'm sorry, in this free agent frenzy week. Mike, just within the first 23 minutes, Kenneth Gainwell on his way to Kansas City.
Kenneth Walker
Kenneth
the
Walker.
third.
Well, you know what? I'm actually reading the board and I'm seeing Gainwell, and I read Gainwell. Kenneth Walker the third to Kansas City, Mike. And Somber says so that probably means Gainwell to the Commanders is what I was reading. So it's going to be interesting to see what does go on with Kenneth Gainwell, Mike. Now that Kenneth Walker. And how can you fault a guy for making that mistake? Kenneth, but Mike, Kenny Gainwell, again, what's going to go down with him? Kenneth Walker on his way to Kansas City from being the Super Bowl MVP, going to another team, Mike, that wins Super Bowls kind of regularly. So that's that.
That was a good move by the Chiefs. You know, one weapon they were lacking on the offensive line was definitely running back. Now this means they won't be forced to do something stupid by taking Jordan Love 9th overall. Now they can address so many other needs that they need. It was a good move by them, man. Because I think Mahomes was also their leading rusher last year. Like, Mahomes is not a running quarterback. He should not be your leading rusher. So that's a very good pickup by them. I can't wait to see what the contract's going to be. But that was a very good signing right there.
I agree. When Patrick Mahomes is your leading rusher, because when he runs with his prego ass, Mike, you know what he looks like when a girl that's pregnant is about to give birth, and frantically she yells, "My water broke," and she waddles real fast. That's what it looks like when Patrick Mahomes runs. He has that childbearing hips that waddle, and that's what I think of. But there you go, guys. Kenneth Walker going to Kansas City. We will see what is going to happen now with our Steelers guys. Again, he was somebody of interest. Let's jump back on the board again, Mike. I want to stay up to date as much as possible. Again, anything that happens real time today will be reported. We're keeping an eye on every angle, every moment here today as the tampering period does begin in this free agent frenzy week. Somber says looks like 6 months for Broderick instead of 9. I did read that as well. Steelers hopeful but cautious that Broderick Jones is ready for training camp. That is the news I got as well. I appreciate that. Somber RB says no one's worried about TJ anymore. Unfortunately, I rewatched TJ's college tape. Nothing has changed. First steps to beat right tackles. No real moves. After 9 seasons, he developed nothing new at all. Tyrone says free agency time, baby. That's right. Welcome back, Tyrone, my man. He says JPJ is the GOAT. Also, Yinzer Joe, did Minka go to the Jets? He is on his way to New Jersey to play football. Steeler freak John says the Broderick Jones injury gives the Steelers an out. I think he's gone. Mike, what do you think about that?
I'm sorry, what was the comment? I was just double checking Twitter real quick.
John says the Broderick Jones injury gives the Steelers an out. I think he is gone.
Yeah, I would put him on IR at this point, man. Just put him on there for the year, and boom, that you're done, free and clear. You don't have to worry about that 50-year option. I don't think they'll cut him. I think they'll IR him and move from there. So we'll see what happens.
Let's go to RB. He says Crosby isn't an AFC North fit. I don't care what PFF says. Crosby gets bullied in the run game. Also, Somber says 3 years, $39.5 million for Draymond. Draymond Jones, of course. RB Minka for 7. RB says, I don't think cutting a guy gets you a comp pick. Guys already discussed that one briefly. Mark Malone, what's up, brother? Always great seeing the great Mark Malone on the terrible board. He says, I don't think you get a comp pick if you release a guy. The Derpster, there he is. Derpster is back in the house. Always great seeing Derpy. Looking good. Got his Super Bowl 40 jersey on. My man looking ready to go for this free agency frenzy week. Glad to see everybody today. Negotiations are ongoing. Also, Ty says, I like the Samuel move so far. I do too. Mike, and here's the thing. I mean, obviously, there's a world of a free agency out there to go around and see what's out there. And obviously, we did. We looked around in the college. But at the end of the day, you got to like this Asante Samuel signing, Mike, because you can never be too sure at the cornerback position, especially at this day and age. It's a throwing league, and you got to have a couple guys back there. And again, what they do on top of that, whatever happens with James Pierre, whatever way they decide to draft, I think that the Asante Samuel signing is a good signing for Pittsburgh, Mike.
Yeah, I love the signing. I love when we were able to pick him up at the end of last year. He played well down the stretch for us. I like it. Like his draft pedigree, a high second round pick, a productive starter, looking like that that neck injury has given him no problem since he came back, and a great move right there, man. That's a solid pickup. You have your two starting corners, and you get James Pierre back, and like I said, find someone who's better in the slot than Brandon Eccles. There's some guys in the draft we might be able to get. I think that secondary has potential to be a whole hell of a lot better than what we saw last year. Because if Porter's locking down guys and Asante Samuel is going to play the way that he can, I'm liking it, man. I'm liking what we're putting together back there.
Mark Malone says, yeah, the Samuel move is solid. Somber says, Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus is the correct pronunciation of that name. And you know what? I'm going to trust Somber. He's pretty he's pretty insightful person. He keeps me on my toes. And Zacchaeus, guys, Zacchaeus.
Wolfgang Amadeus. That's what I'm calling him.
All right, there you go. Yinzer Joe says we need a receiver. They'll probably get Ayuk and Tyreek Hill and call it a splash. Of course, going back to some of the Kelsey comments, I do want to say welcome and good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. Sneaky 25, he says, no, they're from Cleveland Heights.
Oh, that's right. The New
Kelsey.
Heights. Yeah, that's why it's called New Heights. Mike, come on now, get yourself
Where is
together.
what is that in conjunction with Cleveland? What's the
New Cleveland Heights? Cleveland in their podcast is called the New Heights podcast and shit like that. So that made sense to where they would be from. I don't know exactly how close to Cleveland it is, but I spent some time up there. You know, I lived around Sandusky, so I've made some time in Cleveland. I've probably been through those neighborhoods. I just don't know where they are. Dude, I don't even know where my neighborhoods are in my hometown. So
Tortilla says Tater Kelsey. Of course, that is something from Cleveland. I do know about is our Tater Tot.
Where's Tater?
I don't know. It's no surprise that he's not here again. Mike, he is a Browns fan that sometimes comes and hangs out on our terrible board. And you know what? He's kind of a lovable, if you believe that, Browns fan. Let's move on to Somber. Somber says K9 to the Chiefs. Let me go to my update board right here. Derpy is letting me know that Cade Otton, the tight end, he is going back to Tampa Bay. Mike Caden Otton, the tight end, heading back to Tampa.
And that's one less tight end we have to want people to have sign here so we can trade away Pat Freiermuth.
Let's go to Ty. Ty on the board says, yeah, I don't know about Dobbs. Dobbs now might be too much. It's going to be interesting to see what effects that plays on the receivers, Mike, as this is, in my opinion, and with the exception of a quarterback ultimately, but the wide receiver position needs to be fixed fast. And Mike, these other receivers are moving around. DJ Moore moved around in this situation. Another guy moving. Mike, where do the Steelers fall into this again? I thought if we hit somebody and get somebody in the free agency and then hit, pretty nice in the draft with the receiver room, we could start building a nice receiver room. But Mike, with people already moving, do you see the Steelers going after anybody anytime soon? And is Dobbs on the radar?
I think Dobbs should definitely be on the radar, but like we're saying on the board, man, and the contracts that are being handed out, and then DJ Moore being traded for a second, it has totally reset the market. Like for like deals that were quasi in place, all it takes is for one or two GMs to totally fuck everything up. Now teams are going, oh, wait a sec, we can get more than what we initially were offered. Oh, we can, and then agents are telling their guys, hey man, hold out, you can get some more money. So it wouldn't surprise me if some of these deals were almost ready to have pen to paper. Then these contracts were announced and released, and teams and players and agents are like, hold on, we're taking a step back. We want to see if we can get some more money out of this and start talking to other teams and shit. So some of these signings might slow down just because of the resetting of the free agent market on contracts for wide receivers, and what it's taking to trade for someone like DJ Moore. Because if you're looking at someone for like Brian Thomas Jr., if I'm the Jacksonville, I wouldn't be shying away from asking for a second. If the asking price was a third, then you see what DJ Moore gets, try and get more. So I think some of these negotiations and moves might slow down. So if I'm a Steeler fan, I'd be holding my breath, because man, the market has totally reset in the first 33 minutes.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Is Omar Khan playing checkers while the NFL is playing chess. Again, DJ Moore moves. Again, whoever we just mentioned, it's not out of my ear already. It went. But as far as receivers, Mike, there's things happening. There's players moving, and we're sitting on our hands, still wondering if the 43-year-old man is going to step in and play quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. Mike, are we behind the eight ball, and do we need to be more proactive early on in the free agency frenzy?
Well, if the reports that we're getting from insiders and stuff, it's there were big time negotiations with the Steelers in Jacksonville, and then the trade happened, and there's rumors of Steelers talking to the Chargers about one of their receivers. So it sounds like there's a lot of action going behind the scenes. And if those rumors are true, man, it's going to take the other team willing to pull the trigger as well, because the Steelers have a deal in place that they're comfortable with. You gotta hope the other team will pull that trigger. But like I said, some of these other GMs, giving more away than what the market value you would think would be for a guy, that team that you're negotiating with is going to want to jack the price up for you. Then you got to go back, talk to your owner, talk to your coaches. Hey, what do we want to do? So there's a lot of moving pieces that happen in these trade negotiations.
Derpy's reporting that, and I did have this in my notes, Romeo Daub officially expected to hit the free agency market, guys. So that is something to keep an eye on if you are Steeler fans. Of course, Alec Pierce taking the big contract to go back with Indianapolis. That is who I was trying to think of just a moment ago. Alec Pierce off the table, Mike. So again, DJ Moore off the table. And early, just 35 minutes into the tampering period in this NFL year. So let me get back on the board. I don't want to get too far behind. I'm going to go right here to Ty. Ty says, I don't know about Dobbs now. Might be too much. Somber says, we're fucked, man. Let's go to Somber. He follows it up by saying, so that probably means Gainwell to the Commanders. That was on getting the news about Kenneth Walker, of course, going to Kansas City, guys. Within the last half hour, it was announced Kenneth Walker, the Super Bowl MVP, goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the move. So what we do with Kenneth Gainwell, what happens with Kenneth Gainwell, Mike, is going to be pretty relevant, at least at this time. We don't know what any of other names that we're supposed to that there's interest in at the running back position. We know that Walker was certainly picking up a lot of interest. Mike, is there anybody else out there that's been rumored or that that the Steelers have their interests in?
The backup running back from Atlanta, Tyler Algier, I can never pronounce his name right. That was a name that I've seen bandied about online. I know guys on the board were talking about him as well when he's filled in for Bijan Robinson. He's played well. I wouldn't be opposed to signing him. He's not going to be your receiving threat, but he's another good running back to have behind Jalen Warren. And I think he would fit what we're trying to do.
Interesting. Let me stay on the board here, guys.
Ooh.
Yeah, Derpy.
What you got, Derpy?
Jalen Watson to LA.
Who is it?
Jalen Watson.
Jalen Watson.
Chiefs corner going to the Rams.
Chargers to Rams. All right,
Yeah.
There you go. Derpy is typing as he's telling us. All right, good up-to-date news. There you go. Somber says, I'm sorry, let's go to Tyrone. Damn, Chiefs are back. Shit, man. RB, Chiefs are not back. That defensive line and offensive line are both cooked. Jalen Watson to the Rams. Yes, Derpy. Duly noted, as it was duly brought to my attention. Let's go to Somber says, love the Saints. Love to the Saints, most likely. Somber, get Shuck a solid fallback plan. Yeah, I mean, come on, if they're going to do something, we'll see what they do in the draft and free agency this year. Tyrone says Chiefs can make more moves. LOL, it's a good sign. Also, RB says this, love to go to the New York Giants or even Arizona. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Corey Beavers on the terrible board. Corey, of course, the host of Don't Drink That, a conspiracy theory podcast right here on YouTube. Go check him out. He says, what's up, guys? Sorry, so late. Been recording, but I made it. How about that Minka going to the Jets? You know what? I didn't know. I had mixed feelings about Minka. I thought if Minka could play, Mike, as he did early on when he was here and make the splash plays he did, I would have had no problem with him coming back here. But at the end of the day, you convinced me. You convinced me it was probably the best for Minka not to come to Pittsburgh, bypass Pittsburgh and go straight to New York, New Jersey, however that plays out with them. Mike, Minka Fitzpatrick to the Jets. Does it surprise you he went to the Jets?
It surprised me that he renegotiated a contract with the Jets. That's what really surprised me. I don't know why he would want to go there. You figure, like, if they were going to trade him, he would try and pull something else to be like, hey, trade me somewhere that's a competitor. I don't want to go to a last place team, but that's where he went. That's just wild. And then he signs that big contract. Good for him though, getting that contract. I'm all about the guys. If you can get your money, get your money.
Walker.
What's Walker's contract, Derby?
3 years, 45 max.
All right, there you go. Kenneth Walker to Kansas City, 3 years, 45. Also on the board, on my update board, multiple teams looking to trade for Pittman. Steelers definitely in the mix for that. So keep an eye on that as well. Somber back on the board says Titans 2 maybe. Tortilla says new drinking game. Take a shot every time the Steelers sign a free agent. Guys, we'll be sober by the
Hey, we signed 2, baby. We re-signed Holcomb and Asante Samuel.
Does it count when does it sound when it's a re-sign, or is it when we sign somebody from somewhere else? Maybe I don't know.
I'm going. Hey, they were technically free agents. So.
Well, that's because you like to drink. So let's ask.
Hey, you don't have to bring up my alcoholism into this, okay?
Hey now.
Tyrone says Omar better wake up. Yeah, Derpy, what do you got?
I was just saying, hey now, don't be resting Vanilla Thunder here.
Derpy.
And you know what, Derpy, I got to be honest with you. On your show last night, you looked a little out of it. Were you drinking maybe before the show? Your eyes were red. You were kind of spacey. But again, I was thoroughly entertained by the way that you handled that other nerd. I was cheering you on. I really was. I'm watching the show and I'm cheering. I thought, Derpy, look at you go. Your 2 Dum Yinzers is really, really shining through, and I loved it. Let's go to the Tyrone. The Tyrone says, Omar better wake up. Somber says, we'll be sober all day, Tortilla. Mark Malone, he'll be there this year for sure. IR or not, I think. Who was that? Back on Broderick Jones, maybe?
Yeah, back on Brojo, yeah.
Oh my.
Yes, Derpy.
It looks like Jalen Phillips to the Panthers.
Jalen Phillips to the Panthers?
Yes.
Wow.
All right, guys, it's happening. If you were waiting for today, it's here. 41 minutes ago, the tampering period kicked off. Things, Mike, I don't even know how many announcements we made in the last 41 minutes, but it's happening, guys. Again, let's see what the Steelers could do. A running back, the MVP of the Super Bowl, Kenneth Walker III, on his way to Kansas City. Nice deal there. Lots of people moving. Former Steeler, Minka Fitzpatrick on his way to the Jets. Derpy's whistling.
Derpy.
4 years, $120 million for Phillips.
Wow.
To the Panthers.
Mike, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. I wish I could have that kind of money, but that's nuts.
Yinzer Joe says this. Hold on, let me jump back because I don't want to miss anybody today. Let's go to Ty. He says, I'm staying in general. I'm staying in general. I laughed my ass off. Yinzer Joe says Walker is a good running back, but he has only been healthy last season. He seems to be out a lot. Interesting. RB says this: any wide receiver move that was about to happen just got derailed after the Colts stepped on their own dick. Of course, talking about the Alec Pierce signing. Mike, he's getting mad. He's getting mad paid in Indianapolis, and I gotta be happy with you. Everybody has to be happy involved, Mike. He's got to be happy with the money. The Colts got to be happy because they got a wide receiver who's been hot. Mike, everybody in that organization right now should be pretty happy.
Yeah, they should be happy, but my God, man, that was a hefty contract they gave him.
Let's go to Tortilla, where he says this: Derpy working the phones more than Shefty. Look at that. He looks like one of the guys, Mike, on the marathon, the Jerry Lewis marathon, that sits in the back and answers the phones. Is what it looks like is going on down there. Let's go to
My thing
Somber.
right now with the Colts, though, real quick, Ryan, I'm sorry, is like who's going to be the quarterback thrown to Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr. That's what I would know. Who's going to be their
Well,
guy?
they went older every time they got a quarterback, so who knows? It might be Joe Namath next at this point. It was
I know.
Danny Jones, who's been around for a couple, few years, and then it was Joe Flacco, and then it went to Phillip Rivers. You see how this is going? It's going to be,
Yeah.
it's going to be a dead quarterback by the time it's all said and done. Let's go to. I'm going to go right about here to where Somber says, yeah, wide receiver agents are hard as F to find right now after the Pierce contract. Oh, gotcha. On the free agent tip, right here on the board, Derpy's telling me the Commanders extend
trade. The Colts are sending Michael Pittman Jr. to the Steelers. This is from Tom Purcello.
I just saw it. Yep, we just did it. Let's go. Let's go.
It is breaking, Mike. Give the announcement one more time. Michael Pittman Jr.
This is from Tom Purcello. Trade. The Colts are sending Michael Pittman Jr. to the Steelers. There's no terms yet. Keep in mind he is 29. He's in the last year of his contract, so this does not rule us out taking a receiver in the draft. Wow. Big move there. Omar Khan woke up, boys.
There you go. Michael Pittman Jr., guys, just announced in the last minute, coming to Pittsburgh. There you go. The first move for the day for the Steelers, as we're watching players move all around the league. Familiar names, maybe some not so familiar with most people, but guys, it's happening. The Steelers, Michael Pittman Jr., happening right now, was just announced. Let me stay on the board, Mike. I'm going to keep up with everybody today. I'm going to do my best. At least we're going to see what everybody has to say on this Tampering Monday, Mike, as the tampering period starts today. It started 45 minutes ago. A lot of action already. Ty says we better make a move. Somber says Bucks resigning Kate Otten. Jason, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Jason Atkins on the terrible board. Hope things are going well for you, sir. He says haven't been here for a while. Hope you guys are having a good day. Let's go Steelers. I don't know what they're going to do. Always great seeing you, Jason, my man. Michael Pittman is now a Steeler. And that's just the start. So, yeah, Derpy.
Let's go, boys. Derpy. I love this move.
All right. Yinzer Joe said the Heights are east of Cleveland, just outside, but considered still a shit zone. Let's go here. Somber says, I'm guessing Tolbert will be our first signing. Well, you know what? Maybe the second. I don't know. Michael Pittman again, guys, coming to Pittsburgh, just announced. RB says if these prices are going to be 100 plus million, no thank you. Sign a Tolbert and draft two guys. Tortilla,
so are we going to trade DK Metcalf now? Now that we have two bona fide NFL wide receivers, are we going to send out DK Metcalf?
We know the funny thing about that, Mike, and again, how exciting is this? The first move that they did do was at that position. I think that is very warranted. I think the Pittsburgh fans should be relieved by that, Mike, because again, 2 years without a legit players at that position.
Yeah.
And Mike, this was officially said by Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden, Mike, of course, the former Steeler cornerback. He says about DK Metcalf, didn't see it last year. Doesn't think DK is a number one wide receiver, Mike. This is from a pretty good cornerback. What do you make of that comment about DK Metcalf? And do you think he can round out, Mike, to really feel more like a number one instead of just being the number one, maybe with a receiver on the other side, maybe with a quarterback back there that could throw the ball to him? Mike, does DK Metcalf get better? Does he plateau? Or does he kind of sizzle at this point in his career?
I think we're going to see better production out of him this year. Now that there is going to be a legit option opposite him, no matter who the quarterback is, and with a Mike McCarthy style offense, I think DK Metcalf's going to have a bounce back year. His numbers really weren't that far off from what he did in Seattle. It sucked that he missed those 2 games, but you know what? That's what you get for being a dumbass. We knew about the drops when he was coming in. So the drops that he had didn't surprise me, but I think we're going to see the same amount of production out of him this year with a little bump now that we have a number 2 beside him now. And, teams were able to just focus on him. So I think he's going to have a better year this year, but I think his skill sets have plateaued. That's just what happens when you reach that age. But I think now you get a offensive coordinator who's not afraid to spread the ball around. And then you have a legit option opposite him now. I think we're going to see a more productive DK Metcalf. We're going to be able to see him do the things that he was good at, running after the catch this year. I think we're going to see a lot more of that.
So basically, he was a product of his surroundings last year. I mean, it was impossible, basically, for him to be the receiver that we truly wanted him to be at the end of the day, because other things weren't happening. Derpy, what's going on?
It looks like Malik Willis to the Dolphins.
Who is?
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis.
To the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Our linebacker? Or no, not
Malik. The QB.
Malik Willis.
Who am I thinking?
You're thinking Malik Harrison. So
Malik Willis is going to Miami, is what you're saying?
Yep. A 3-year, $67.5 million deal with 45 fully guaranteed.
So there you go, guys. Malik Willis was an option during the offseason. A lot of people wanted to see him come to Pittsburgh. Malik Willis is on his way to Miami, of course, taking the spot of Tua, who's being released by the Dolphins. So, again, faces are on the change.
John Simpson back to the Ravens.
John Simpson back to the Ravens.
Yep.
Thank you, Derpy. Let's stay on the board here, guys. So things are happening. Like Malik Willis heading to Miami. Somber says, laugh my ass off, Miami. Let me get back on the board here. Tortilla says this: how much is Dobbs going to get, Mike, if they say 12 million, but there's no way, especially after Pierce gets 29?
Yeah, I don't know what Dobbs is going to get. And like, this market is crazy, and I think I don't. I haven't seen yet what we got for or trying to trade for Pittman, and I haven't even seen if there's the teams are swapping late round picks, and plus Pittsburgh is preparing to sign Michael Pittman to an extension. So yeah, that's from Shefty Sheft. So no indication yet on the actual picks and the extension yet. I'll keep an eye on that, but man.
Steel Loyal's telling me on the terrible board that Tua is already in Atlanta. We did. I'm sorry, I had forgotten about that. We did make that announcement earlier in the show. Tua to the Dolphins. Tua to the Falcons from the Dolphins. Malik Willis to the Dolphins to take the spot of Tua, guys. Let's go to let's stick on the board here. Let's see what everybody's got going on as all these announcements are being made and all these moves are happening in the NFL. Again, Michael Pittman Jr. coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys. Within the last 20 minutes, this announcement was made. Michael Pittman Jr. is now going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. I'm going to go right here to Yinzer Joe. Pierce is a 1,000-yard receiver. Dobbs isn't there yet, but he is good. Tortilla says we'll probably have to pay more just because the question mark at wide receiver. Also, RB says Pierce had 47 catches, though. You know what? He had a lot of yards for the catches that he had. Yes, Derpy, what do you got?
The Giants are signing former Ravens Isaiah Likely to tight end Isaiah Likely to a 3-year, $40 million contract.
And you know what sucks, Mike?
Likely.
And not bloody likely. I'm not going to be able to use my not bloody likely 2 times a year. That's the biggest disappointment for me.
So real quick, circle back to that DK Metcalf production. So he had 59 catches last year, 850 yards, 6 touchdowns. Michael Pittman, 80 catches, 784, and 7 touchdowns. I expect both those guys to have more receiving yards this year and just a few more touchdowns both. I think this is a great duo that we have, and this is only going to help Patty Fry even
absolutely
more. It's going to open up that middle of that field. And this offense, man, I'm like shaking over here, man.
And Mike, as we gotta remember as well. I mean, this is an offensive-minded head coach. You know, who knows what's going to happen? But again, I mean, we've gone through decades and ever, Mike, with Mike Tomlin being a defensive-minded coach, Bill Cowher being a defensive-minded coach, Chuck Noll being a defensive-minded coach. So maybe this is just what the doctor ordered. Again, bringing in Michael Pittman Jr. Again, things might start falling into place, Mike. For like you were saying, like Pat Freiermuth, it really might benefit him going with the way that things are heading here. Of course, getting these weapons and then an offensive-minded head coach stepping in, and let's see what he puts together, Mike. Again, this has potential to be a game changer. Still a lot of time left as free agency doesn't even start officially for another 51 hours, guys. Today is the tampering period. It started at noon. Time to tamper, as I said, Mike. Let's move on the board. And the guys are keeping me 100% updated as we go by the minute. Derpy, do you have something? What's up?
Bears are signing defensive tackle Neville Gallimore to a 2-year, $12 million deal. I believe
All
he's
right.
from the Colts.
There you go. Colts making more moves with
No, the Bears
Chicago.
are. The Bears, yeah, going to Chicago, yeah.
The Bears making more moves. Also, yeah, I'm sorry. With who? Okay. Let's jump on back on the board, guys. Again, I'm not trying to leave anybody out today. Throw whatever you have up on the board. Any questions, comments on any of this, guys? A lot going on today here on the show. Let's go to Somber. Somber says maybe Rodgers gets Dobbs in the door. Who knows? Tyrone says yeah, Dobbs 16 to 20 range. Max RB says huge difference when you're number 3 option and now the number 1. Let's go to Tortilla. Yeah, it feels like whoever we sign is probably going to get the whole rundown of what the plan is. And Yinzer Joe says Dobbs is a 700-yard receiver with 55 catches. Pierce killed him. Mark Malin says the Rooney's probably lowballed him. Somber says you pronounced it correctly the first time, Mike. Well, Mike, you know what? Mike can pronounce things correctly in the first time. I literally can't. So that
yeah, all the years of watching hockey and European football, soccer helps me with those with pronouncing names. But there's some of them I can't get right. But I take pride in trying to get the names right the first time.
You do well. Just Learning. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Just Learning on the Terrible Board. He says, hi, guys. Great show. Thank you, sir. Always great to see Just Learning. Ty says this. So the Rams take Chiefs DBs. Laugh my ass off. Corey says this. Don't drink that. Oh, wow. You mean to tell me that the teams who have won Super Bowls lately are going all in to go back? So take risks to attain success. Wild thought. Maybe the Steelers will get in on that at some point here. Still Loyal. What's up, dude? He says, I got 3 screens up with Twitter and free agency news. We ain't going to miss nothing. Still Loyal, my man. Thank you, sir. You are the best. Ty says this. Commanders were signed Tunsil 2 years, $60 million.
That's it. I've always liked Tunsil. I always liked him. He's a good tackle.
Sorry.
Derpy's barking. I don't know what's going on at the Derpy household, but there you go. $30 million a year. Still Loyal is saying. Ty saying holy overpay. John, the Steeler freak says Steelers quarterback situation.
We did extend Pittman.
We did extend Pittman. There you go, Michael.
Yeah, everyone's going off in the chat.
We all saw it just at the same time. 3 years,
59 million.
Let's get to Steeler Freak says quarterback situation makes free agency wide receivers difficult. Still Loyal, we were trading for Pittman. We're big news. That is the big news. Pittman is ours. Still Loyal was saying. Ty says, let's go. Everybody excited about Michael Pittman, guys. Mike, what is the new scoop that you and Derpy are talking about Michael Pittman?
It was just the contract is 3 years, $59 million. It's being reported everywhere. I have still yet to see what we traded for him for. I'm seeing, low round swap picks. So once I find out the actual ones, I'll announce. But I know you guys are on this too. So I'm sure the board might beat me to it, man. You guys are on fire today.
That's all right. Everybody's excited. Everybody's following it, guys. And that's why we're here today. Yeah, Derpy, go ahead.
The Jets are signing former Bengals pass rusher Joseph Asai.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Joseph Asai, guys, from the Bengals to the Jets. The Jets trying to build that defense, Mike. They had defense. They gave it away because they weren't winning, of course. Sauce Gardner on the move late last year. All kind of things. They never really know what they're doing in New York, but that's has become expected, to be honest. Let's go to John. Defensive Rookie of the Year will be quarterback for D-Roy will be quarterback for 2 buckets of KFC per game. Tortilla says, what did we give up? Ultimately, Mike, what did we give up? Did you say?
It's saying low round pick swap. So I have there's been no official confirmation on which picks.
Right.
Also,
what way.
Tyrone.
I'm thinking maybe we gave up a 5th and got a 7th back plus him, something along those lines. That's just a guess for me.
Mike, and I'm going back and I'm looking at who was it? Minka what did Miami get for Minka? Was it a 7th?
Yeah.
That kind of really says a lot about what the value and what the thought is about Minka around the league. That's we could get a 7 for Derpy maybe.
I think we could, and I'd be okay with trading Derpy for a 7th round pick.
Let's get back on it. Ty says, let's go, baby. Still Loyal. Let's go. It's time. Palacero made the announcement, of course. So Somber is referring to on the board. Tortilla says, "Oh God, please be a third. Please be a third." Tyrone says, "Third." Max 99, please. Also, Steel Loyal says, "MPJ got good ass hands." Michael Pittman Jr., of course, got good ass hands. It is what we needed. We needed.
Yep.
Desperately. There you go, guys. Michael Pittman Jr. Maybe some people are getting ready to go out and get their jerseys. Who knows?
It's only been an hour, and this is chaotic.
It is. It's already chaotic. Derpy's already ordering his Michael Pittman jersey while we speak. Lots going on, guys. Welcome to the show. Glad to see everybody today. Let's go to Somber on the board. He says, "Nice." So I'm expecting Tolbert at least 2 draft picks, is what Somber's saying. Ty says, "This DK and Pittman duo, come on." This is almost as exciting as last year when we had DK and GP for 6 minutes. This is pretty exciting, guys. Again, at the end of the day, whatever happens after this, knowing that we're going to have a legit wide receiver coming in, Mike, to play opposite side, DK Metcalf, very, very exciting, and should be for Steeler Nation.
Yeah, I am loving this move. He fits in so well with what we want to do on offense. My God, if you're not happy with this, man, I don't know what's going to make you happy.
I agree. I agree, Mike. And this was just after I made the comment about, here we are, people, the big moves are happening. People are the DJ Moores are moving, Alec Pierce getting his contract, Mike. And I said, and here we are, we're worrying about our 43, if we're going to have a 43-year-old quarterback. And it was just moments after the fact, Michael Pittman Jr. So again, that maybe makes some other things easier. Some other, Derpy?
Pierre to the Vikings.
James Pierre to the Vikings, 2 years, $8.5 million.
James Pierre to the Vikings. There you go. What's the specs on it?
2 years, $8.5 million.
There you go, guys. But again, Mike, this kind of answers questions as well. Are we putting pieces in place? Maybe we got an eye on a young quarterback. Maybe this plays into the Will Howard effect. Maybe again, whatever it is we decide to do again. And there was some speed bumps, Mike, over the weekend in regards to Aaron Rodgers. A lot of people saying, we'll take Aaron back. At least he's still got the Hall of Fame brain, and he still can zip a ball. Relatively fine for his age, Mike. But there was what was the health issues? There was something about him not being able to maybe pass a physical over the weekend. What was that information?
I did not hear that. If true, that is big. I'm sorry, my friend. I did not
look into that. Absolutely,
yeah, I'll do a quick little search on that and see.
And I didn't read the article, which I just didn't have time. But look into that, Mike. It was interesting. Let me get back on the board as Mike looks at that up. I'm gonna go right here too. I'm going to go right here to Tyrone. He says, "I don't know how we feel. Omar gave us wide receiver too." Bro, I'm ecstatic. And again, this has been long overdue. The fact that this team even went 2 seasons without a wide receiver too, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. And then, I mean, that's big. We're saying, well, why ain't we any good? Why can't we do this? Why can't we be good teams? What? Well, because you only filled half of a team officially. That wide receiver room was the furthest thing from an NFL wide receiver room, with the exception of DK Metcalf, that I ever seen. Again, guys, Michael Pittman, the big move so far today. And again, just an hour into the tampering period, guys. Again, we have 51 hours, 4 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. The official free agency does kick off. That is the beginning of the new NFL year. That is on Wednesday at 4 o'clock, guys. And then also 45 days away, the NFL draft coming right here to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They're expecting up to 700,000 people jam-packed in the point on the North Shore. I'm sure there's people going to be swimming across the river, not even taking the bridge from the point to North Shore.
Yeah, someone's going to be swimming across that bridge. Yeah, Ryan, I looked it up. It was just there's this one doctor, he guesses about guys' injuries and stuff all the time online, and he was talking about like free agents and Aaron Rodgers' injury concerns the past couple years. Like that might be a red flag for a team trying to sign him or not.
That was it, because it did say red flag in the okay, got you on that. So that's all right. That's good to know.
Yeah,
Let's
and
go.
on the real quick on the James Pierre signing, it's looked like the reason he went to Minnesota is he's following Gerald Hawkins, who was our DB coach last year, and that's where under him that's who he played the best football out of. So it looks like he might have been following the defensive backs coach.
So James Pierre, I mean that's that was certainly we all had a question about. We wanted to know what was going to happen with him. Is somebody going to pay him? Give him a bag? Is he going to be back? He's certainly improved over the past couple seasons, Mike.
Wow.
Yeah, Derpy, what do you got?
Jets are making moves on the defense, like you said. Packers defensive lineman Kingsley Engber will sign with the Jets for $10 million.
All right, there you go. Another move on the defensive side of the Jets. I'm gonna be honest with you, Mike. The Jets do this. And they sometimes they get really excitable and they get really active and they bring in players, but at the end of the day, the team ends out still being the Jets. It almost seems like no matter what they do, you could bring in anybody. Mike, they've had the Rel Revis. I mean, come on, they've had good teams over the years, but they're always the Jets. Mike, is this just going to be another example of how the Jets are the Jets, or do you see them legitimately putting something together? Because at the end of the day, you're still playing Buffalo 2 times a year. At the end of the day, you're still playing New England 2 times a year, and at the end of the day, they're the Jets. Miami certainly gives them a battle. It isn't like things are going to get a whole lot easier for New York. Mike, does all these defensive moves make any difference for that green and white team?
Potentially it could, because remember a few years ago, man, like that was you and I's dark horse team that like if they would ever get a competent quarterback, they had a nice little team in place. They had a really good defense, a young defense, but they traded all those guys away. You had Garrett Wilson at wide receiver, you had Brees Hall at running back. It's like, hey man, we have a good team, and they go out and get Aaron Rodgers. You think, okay, maybe he can put him over the hump. Then he gets hurt, and then you just see his production fall off. So I have the faith, or I have a little bit of faith that the Jets could do this, but this is an organization, man, that once you think they have things figured out, they find a way to mess it all up.
I agree.
So I like some of the moves on paper, but do I trust them in the long run to get all the pieces in place at the same time? No, I don't.
I agree with you 100%, Mike, and I stick with my theory that they sold their soul to the devil in 1969 for that Super Bowl, and Joe Namath from 5 minutes away, Mike. Joe Namath, of course, from Beaver Falls. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to say real quick, I don't mean to jump ahead in the comments, but Somber's saying one of the state radio stations in town is saying it's a 7th round pick.
7th round pick for Pittman.
That's a fucking steal if that's true.
That is a steal.
Very interesting, guys. Michael Pittman again coming to the Steelers supposedly right now for a 7th round pick, and also James Pierre going to Minnesota. What's that, Derpy?
Mike's going in and out because his camera's dying.
I saw that. I don't know what's going on with Mike. And the funny thing about Mike, a lot of time he doesn't turn his microphone off, so when he's acting and he's smacking shit and trying to fix it, you hear it all. And I thought I heard something there. Usually a little bit more entertaining than it was. Let me get back on the terrible board here, guys. I'm going to try to get caught up, and if I don't, I'm going to fast forward and try to get caught up. Just
another Jets move.
What's the Jets got going on, Derpy?
Former linebacker from the Saints, Demario Davis, 2 years, $22 million to the Jets.
Is Lattimore? Is he? I heard he was out there. He was released the other day as well. I forget where he was. Where was he? Washington or New Orleans or somewhere?
Washington.
Yeah, and he's now available. Again, I'm going to try to get caught up here on the board, and if I don't get too caught up, Mike Derpy, I'm going to fast forward just so I'm in the relevant talk as we continue on today. Today is the beginning of free agent frenzy this week here on the Two Dum Yinzers, and today is, of course, time to tamper. Time to tamper Monday. Welcome, guys. Welcome anybody and everybody new to the show. Welcome, everybody. Glad to see you here today. This is episode 922 of the Two Dum Yinzers. Let me get back on the terrible board. I'm going to go right here where protect DK at all costs is what Steel Loyal is saying. Somber says, Vanilla, don't put that juju in the air. LOL. Rodgers will be calling in 5 minutes to resign. Let's go here. Again, I see us getting a wide receiver 3rd round now. What do we go after in the first? of course, the big need, the past 2 seasons would be the wide
Yeah.
receiver 2 position. How does that affect things in the draft, Mike? And as we said, a lot of times once you hit free agency week, that starts
Yep.
to mold how your draft is going to go. Certainly to start the first round picks, Mike. How does this affect the Steelers in 45 days when the draft comes to town?
Now it opens up to more or less like the best player available. You could go, yes, like a lot of guys are saying on the board, big old Vega out of Penn State, the big guard. You can go cornerback. You can go. I know no one might not want to hear this D line again first round if there's someone there. It opens it up to where we could take the best player, whoever is sitting there now, and regardless of position, because you can plug and play most of these guys that we're going to need. Great move. And even if a wide receiver falls there, I wouldn't be opposed to taking a wide receiver in the first round as well. Round out that receiving room even more. If a Mekhi Lemon happens to fall there, if Omar Cooper Jr. is sitting there, don't be afraid to pull the trigger on one of those guys. That's why I would love to see us get a guard in free agency right now. So now we even have more flexibility in the first round. It's a lot of things opening up for the Steelers now.
All right, let's move things up here, Mike. I'm gonna scoot along just a hair on the terrible board because again, a lot coming in, and as we're trying to keep everything as fresh as we can, I'm gonna try to do the same on the board. And I apologize if I miss your messages, but you do know that I do read them all eventually, guys. So keep them coming. No complaints. Don't stop anything. Keep going. It is, guys, this is free agency frenzy. Here we are smack dab in the beginning of it, Mike, as it kicks off today. Today, just an hour and 9 minutes ago, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time here in Pittsburgh. We are going at it. Let's go to, I'm going to at least get to 1 o'clock in the messages. So let me scoot up a hair. Let's get to Somber. Farewell, Pierre LePew. You just got good too late. There you go again. James Pierre, guys, to Minnesota. In case you're wondering. And again, the Asante Samuel signing earlier this morning, may have indicated that was coming, may have been the writing on the wall. But again, James Pierre, who's certainly picked up his game over the past few years, Mike, cousin of Lamar Jackson, intercepting his cousin Lamar Jackson last season during a game, is no longer a Pittsburgh Steeler. He's taking his talents to Minnesota, Mike.
So, it well deserved too. This is a guy that was, much maligned here for his career, and he earned that contract through hard work. So well done, and I don't blame him for following his DB coach up there. So smart play by him.
So let's see what we got going on.
News.
Yes, Derpy.
We lose Gainwell to the Bucks.
All right, hold on. Turn your mic down before I lose my mind.
Kenneth Gainwell to the Buccaneers.
Kenneth Gainwell to the guys. There you go. Derpy just the bearer of bad news. Kenneth Gainwell to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why don't we just give everybody to Tampa Bay at this point? Danny Smith, of course, the special teams coach, the favorite here in town. Mike, he left. He is in Tampa Bay. Kenneth Gainwell. That is the call. That is the move. Right now, just being reported, Kenneth Gainwell, the Steelers MVP, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike, this is the first Steeler to leave after getting the team MVP since Neil O'Donnell 30 years ago. Exactly. It was Mike. It was at the end of this football season, 30 years ago, 1996. Mike, no Steeler MVP has ever left the team in the following season. Kenneth Gainwell on his way to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, but I'm not going to let it tamper what we've done so far by bringing in Michael Pittman Jr. I'm sure we will find another running back in free agency. We also have still have Jalen Warren on the roster. I'm going to trust Omar Khan to go out and find us another good back here. Hey, maybe this is a sign of things to come of hey, we are not going to be dumping the ball off. We are going to be stretching the ball down the field.
A couple of things regarding.
I hate to see him go, though. I thought he was a good player.
A couple of things regarding Kenneth Gainwell, guys. As I thought I seen. Here it is. Yeah, I agree. Somber. I'm happy for him. He seemed like a good guy and good. He's got his money. Austin Hooper to the Falcons. Mitch Trubisky guys, to the Titans. I'm also seeing Mitch Trubisky. If you've been following Mitch around the league, he's on his way to the Titans. And again, Austin Hooper to the Falcons. But going back to Kenneth Gainwell, hold on real quick. I'm hearing this. Tyrone is saying Michael Pittman posted black and gold, excited to be here, whether that be on X,
Yes, he did.
Insta.
He did. I can confirm that he did.
And Derpy, where is this Derpy? Is it on X?
It is on X.
All right, there you go. So again, Kenneth Gainwell, I'm happy for him, Mike, as he is getting paid. But this certainly leaves a hole now. What are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to do? This is something to be excited about in a way, because we are going to continue to go through players and free agents, and we have the draft again in 45 days. Yes, Caleb Johnson is back there, Mike. Of course, Jalen Warren is back there. But that combination would make me believe that they are going to continue to look around the league, Mike, and see what else is out there. Is Joe Mixon, who was released by the Houston Texans after they get David Montgomery, is he an option, Mike? Joe Mixon, where does he land, and who do you have in mind that could possibly be wearing the black and the gold?
I'm going back to Tyler Algier or Algier.
Yeah,
that's who I'm looking at. Joe Mixon. I don't want a guy who has that bad knee injury, even though he did come back last year. I'm staying away from someone like him. I wouldn't surprise me if we look in the draft again as well for another running back.
Mike, would we be okay with Jalen Warren, Caleb Johnson, and another rookie quarterback out of the draft?
I would want another veteran.
We have a punter.
Veteran.
Derpy.
A punter off the board.
Oh.
Who do you got?
The Ravens punter goes to the Giants.
Ravens punter goes to yeah. You know what? That Giants and Ravens connection, you gotta like it, to be honest with you. If you're having a team that you're swapping players around and coaches with, at the end of the day, that kind of works for us, because the Giants are terrible. The Baltimore Ravens are terrible, but the punter from the Ravens goes to New York to play for the Giants. Mike, I'm going to just jump in right here, and I'm going to answer one thing, and I'm going to pass it back to you to finish your thought. Ty asked this about 10 minutes ago, and I love this. I love it. And you know I love this guy ever since he got drafted. Mike, Tyrone asked, would you trade for Jalen Carter from the Eagles? Me, personally, I would. I would definitely trade Jalen Carter, Mike. And I think he answers such a big question for the Steelers on that defensive line if they would bring in a Jalen Carter.
Like, I would, but I want to see what the price would be for him.
Absolutely.
And I'll take him. I like what he can do. I think his production dipped a little last year, if I remember correctly. Pulling up his stats now. Yeah, he only had 3 sacks last year, only 18 tackles. Like, his run defense, great. Just going off PFF, was not that good, but he was really good at pass rush.
He's a freak. I love the freak factor.
And I'm willing to give him a shot. Why not? Why not? Take a flyer on the guy. His best year was his rookie year. This year, he production dropped. But if you can get him for a low round pick, maybe Howie Roseman is getting tired of him over there and just wants him off the books because they just signed Big Jordan Davis. If you get him for cheap, I would do it, just because the way his production has dropped every year. I think his games played every year has dropped as well.
As Summer's saying on the board, he says the guy's an effing head case if I've ever seen. He follows it up by saying, you mean the guy that spit on Dak's chest? No way. But you know what? That's what I kind of liked about him, Mike. There's not enough intensity on our defensive line. We have a 106-year-old Cam Hayward, who's basically just a nice guy. You got some, you got some young kids trying to learn the ropes. It needs to be a nasty defensive line, in my opinion. Get back to, when people are actually afraid to run against you. And getting nasty a little bit. I'm not against it. Again, I think he's a freakish player. I think his game, Mike, he has the ability. He is a head case. He was in trouble. He was involved in a wreck before he got drafted out of Georgia, where a girl died. And, and he's been here, and there's been problems. So, again, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that he's crazy. But at the end of the day, guys, I like somebody who's just can bring intensity. And it's not just that, Somber. He says spitting on people is an intent. And I'm not – listen, if that's what I was saying, I think you obviously know that's not what I'm saying, but he's just an intense player. And there's a lot that he brings to the table, Mike. And again, I always point back to when he dove beneath the center's legs to try to intercept the ball that was getting spiked to stop the clock. Again, there's just something about him. He could bring intensity to the defensive line. And I know, guys, it wouldn't be popular because, he is at head case. But at the end of the day, I think it's time for that defensive line to get nasty. They're too nice, in my opinion. And again, Mike, say what you want. This defense, with Cam Hayward and the other, and I think Derek Harmon was out at the time, but you got to remember that this defensive line did give up 250 yards rushing to the Buffalo Bills at home. Somebody's got to get nasty on that front line.
Yeah, like I said, I'd try him for, if you can get him for a low round pick. I'm not trading a first, second, third, or fourth for him. Fifth, sixth, or seventh. And if you want to get rid of him off your team, take a chance on him. The worst thing that happens, he doesn't work out. You just move on from him. Like, okay, guy, bye, go away. The experiment didn't work, and you're not losing any really good draft capital. I'm willing to try it. You never know. Sometimes a change of scenery can help people.
He's a bruiser. He just puts you in mind of somebody that I don't know. He scares me as a person, and maybe he might scare you as a player as well. Alex Anzalone, Mike, to the Buccaneers. I'm sorry, the linebacker, former linebacker of the Lions, on his way to Tampa Bay. Yep. Also on the board. Let's go right here to our still loyal. I'm sorry, Diesel. No, right here. I'm seeing new names. I apologize.
There's a lot of new people here today.
I don't want to be missing anybody, and I do apologize if I do. Again, I'm trying to keep up with the crowd as we go today. Let's go to John Dudenhofer. John Dudenhofer, I don't want to say welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board. He says Gainwell is a mistake. Gainwell is a mistake, he's saying. Guys, I'll continue to move up here. Again, I'm going to try to grab any newer names, and I'm trying to stay up to date as we do go. I'm going to go right up past Somber and I talking about Jalen. Let's go to Tyrone says true, but wouldn't hate it on that Jalen Carter conversation. Cash, I do want to say Cash too. No Romeo since we got Pittman. I'm not sure what that's. You know what? That's a good. So is Romeo Dobbs? Is that done now, guys? There's no chance of it being DK, Pittman, and Dobbs. Is that in the books?
I don't think so, because I think what you're gonna have to pay Dobbs might be too much to have all three of those. You'd be kind of looking at like a situation with the Bengals with all that money tied up between your quarterback and your two receivers. I think they're going to go receiver in the draft, and that's perfect because you're running with those two big guys, and then get someone in the second round maybe, and then someone in the fourth round at receiver and run that. And looks like Roman Wilson will still be in the mix as well. So take that for what it's worth with Roman Wilson. But yeah, I think Dobbs is off the board, but I'm loving the DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman Jr.
I am too.
Combo, man. That is a thing of beauty.
I couldn't agree with you more, Somber. He says, I don't think we're going to pay 3 wide receivers. And then he follows up by saying, this is where the answers, Mike, are starting to come from on how are we going to attack the draft. And again, big things happening today for the Steelers. Again, Michael Pittman coming to Pittsburgh, Kenneth Gainwell leaving Pittsburgh, James Pierre leaving Pittsburgh. A lot of things happening right now, and not just around the league, Mike, but certainly for our Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's get back to the board right here to where Yinzer Joe, he says the Eagles like their D-line and are stingy about trading for them. Probably won't get anybody from them. Let's go to right here where Steel Loyal says Jamar is still going to have to answer to J-Ram this season. Let's go to Somber says the Bucs are making moves. The Buccaneers have agreed. Okay, we got the linebacker, Mike. That's a $17 million deal. How do you pronounce the last name? Anzalone. That move is being had. It also, Somber says the Patriots have agreed to terms with fullback Reggie Gilliam on a 3-year deal worth up to $12 million with us.
Twitter's X whatever is freaking out that they signed a fullback.
What Somber was saying is it's worth up to $12 million with $6 million fully guaranteed and a deal done by his agent. Derpy saying people in New England freaking out. They got a fullback. Cash says this. Do we get a wide receiver first round, or does it look like we go Ty Simpson? I'm going to be honest with you, Cash. I don't think it's going to be Ty Simpson. And Mike, you know what? They could really go all in and try to get get a wide receiver, go wide receiver in the first round, opposed to maybe going defensive line or some of these other positions, and really put together a nice core with DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman, a first round wide receiver. And then, as you said, I mean, now you kind of have those other guys who are playing your 2 role, your 3 role. They're bumped down the list. You got, Roman and Calvin, considering, everything goes well with them, and they start sitting at the 3, 4, or 5 positions. Then you can start pushing out all the garbage that was sitting at the bottom, basically. Again, it was not an NFL wide receiver room. This was a big move for the Pittsburgh Steelers today moving forward by going after and getting Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah, I love this. And it's like we've been talking about all off season is, excuse me, is like once you get that bona fide number 2, the rest of the guys, like you were just saying, they filter into where they need to be in the lineup. Now, that's why I wouldn't be opposed now with what we got, bringing back a Calvin Austin, because now he can slide in to where you would want him to be in your offense. And then like I would take another big body receiver, kind of like Omar Cooper Jr. in the first round, pair him with the two vets and Calvin Austin. I think that would be a damn good wide receiver room right there.
Richard says this: Roman Wilson needs to learn that he got to put in the extra work in after practice if he wants to stay in the mix. And you know what? If that was the case, if it was his lack of professionalism, Derpy.
What you got, Derpy?
Bears signed safety Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant to the Bears. There you go, guys. Another move. Mike, an hour and 23 minutes in. I can't even keep track of the amount of moves that we've seen and heard so far. Absolutely what we expected, Mike. I love it. You love this time of year. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Cash says this. He says, I want Jordan Tyson. I'm sorry. Also, I was making the comment about Roman Wilson, Mike. The rumor is his lack of professionalism, his not willingness to stay after practice, do all the little things that you want to see from a special receiver. So again, at the end of the day, Summers, we don't. That's what was reported. That's what I heard. That's what I read. So that's what I'm going to talk about. But at the end of the day, if he can get it together, and that was the problem. Let's just say, in case it wasn't somber, maybe Mike, he could start gaining value again down more toward the end of the list in the wide receiver room. As you do have your 1, you do have your 2, and again, I think they would be smart to go after a nice wide receiver still in the first round. Mike, I don't think the Michael Pittman signing should stop us from exploring wide receivers.
No. Especially because with him and DK, their age being like 29, going to turn 30 soon. I think a receiver in the first round would be a smart move. But even if they don't go the first round, there's still guys you can get in the second and third that have a lot of potential and that you can use there as well. But man, I just let's get a guard today too, and really clear up the the picture for the draft.
That would be interesting if they did grab a guard today, Mike. Or again, you might see what happens to Ciamalo. Again, his name still not mentioned as of yet, as we are an hour and a half into this tampering period. And Mike, other notable names certainly have been moving around. For the Steelers, Kenneth Gainwell, of course, on his way out. Yeah. Team MVP on his way to Minnesota. Tampa Bay. James Pierre on his way to Minnesota, and of course, Michael Pittman Jr. coming in to Pittsburgh. King Kane says we're not getting Tyson. Welcome to the show, King Kane. Glad to see you on the terrible board. Let's go to Mike Carr. What's up, man? Always great seeing Mike Carr on the terrible board. He said, hasn't Pittman's production steadily gone down?
Receiving yards have gone down, but touchdowns have gone up. So I think it was like with the emergence of Alec Pierce and the rotation of quarterbacks, his targets have gone down, but his touchdowns have actually gone up. Last year was his best year. The year before he had 3 touchdowns. This year he had 7. So it's all about the way he was used in that offense and, the quarterbacks that they've had up there.
Let's go right here to Boom, boom, boom. Summer's still trying to prove me wrong. He's about 3 stories behind. He's asking Google if Roman Wilson stays after practice. Yeah, let us know. I don't know, man. Let's go to right here, Amir Robertson to Washington. The cornerback from the Lions. This was Derpy just reported this again, guys. Amir Robertson to Washington, the corner from the Lions. Mike, that is happening right now as we speak. Let's do.
I'm gonna say the Lions are losing key players on their team. The Seahawks lost another key player on their team. Man, it's just you got to win now because these guys hit the free agency fast.
Let's go to John Duffenhauer. John Dudenhauer. I do want to say if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I do apologize. Dudenhofer, I think is how it's pronounced. Roman Wilson really hasn't had the coach he should have. New coaching is going to make a difference. Austin also. And you know what? Again, guys, that's a really great point with the offensive minded head coach and maybe hopefully the way that this coaching staff was assembled. Hopefully that is a big difference because, again, offense has certainly been stagnant, to say the least, over the past 3 to 5 years, even maybe heading back into a little bit at the end of the bend period. Again, Mike, a lot of things happening right now. Tyrone says, wonder who signs Dobbs now. Steel Loyal says Roman Wilson has been working with the route god. He's going to be a whole new wide receiver this season. That would be great, man. If him and Calvin Austin, and as I said, Mike, this doesn't it allows you to take the pressure off of those two guys. Yeah. You're not saying Calvin Austin, you're the number 2, go make it happen, and or vice versa. We're going to try to get Roman Wilson up to where we want him to be. This, Mike, in my opinion, could be very good for those 2 wide receivers. They can now kind of develop outside of the limelight, outside of that spotlight, not have to worry about number 1 cornerback because they're higher up on the depth chart. These 2 receivers now they're bottom feeders in a sense. So they can kind of develop and do what they do kind of under the radar.
Yeah, they slot in right where they need to be. They're not playing out of position or out of responsibility of what they can do. I have no problem keeping those guys around as long as you play them in the right spot.
Let's go. Summer says, I asked Google if Roman Wilson was known to stay after practice. Let's see what Google knows. Google says, yes, Pittsburgh Steeler wide receiver Roman Wilson has been consistently observed staying after practice. I mean, is this a lately thing? Is this something that came lately? Because let me finish. I apologize. Practice due to extra work, including using jugs machines for over 30 minutes after sessions. Concluded as a second-year player in 2025. He's been noted as one of the last players to leave. And then follows that by saying, not trying to prove you wrong, just clearing up a narrative that has been false all year. Him and the playbook are different. So is that what it is then? Is it the playbook? Maybe he's just a dummy. He's not lazy. He's just a dummy is kind of what I'm getting from that. Calvin Austin, free agent, Tyrone, Mark Malone, the Roman looks like he can play to me. You know what? And I did too. With the exception of the one fumble late in the season, he never looked bad. He never missed passes. Balls that were thrown to him, he caught.
Yeah.
Preseason, I thought he looked wonderful last year. And then again, I agree, Summer. I mean, if that's it, maybe he's just dumb. Maybe he's a dummy. I mean, it happens. Everybody can't be. There's dummies out there. Roman said Tallman was ugly. That's what Tortilla says. No, but listen. I'm not bouting. I'm just saying I thank you because again, if I am saying something wrong, thank you, Somber, for keeping it on the real, man. I appreciate it, bro. Let's go to Mark Malone. Roman stole Tomlin's side piece. Too soon on the Tomlin side piece. I don't know. Keep Kobe Bryant 3 years, 3 years, Mike, $40 million. That's on the Kobe Bryant move.
Hey, man, cash in on that Super Bowl. You got your ring. Go get paid, baby.
Absolutely. Go get that bag. You know what? And what's this going to do to Seattle? You're starting to see players leave. You're Kenneth Walker and now Kobe. And there was somebody else earlier that we mentioned. And what's this do to that Seattle team? Like, are they going to be totally dismantled, or is this team will they be able to run it back possibly in the NFC?
I think with their GM, they'll be able to reload. They are going to have to find a new running back because I forget who the other running back is, but he got hurt last year, and they're going to need depth there. But I think they can be okay. I don't think they're going to win back-to-back Super Bowls, but I think they'll be a contender next year.
Let's go to Yinzer Joe. He says Roman can catch and play. It's his understanding of the playbook and his fumbling that put him in the doghouse. And finally, John. John says, dude be huffing. That should be John's last name, dude be huffing. or Mark Malone. Mark Malone's the one that does all the huffing, right?
Yeah, he does all the huffing.
John with Terry Bongshaw would be more accurate for John out in Cali, or out in Las Vegas. I'm sorry. Tyrone says we need sign Brisker. Somber says he had one fight. That's what I'm saying. It was. Remember, he jumped. He went into a tackle. A guy was getting ready to tackle him. He jumped, and the ball kind of like went forward out of his hand, and it was a weird fumble. I thought everything I seen from Roman Wilson, to be honest, I'm like, was on the up and up.
Yeah, I liked what I saw from him. You know, he looked good once he got the ball in his hands, and you don't know, like, what, you know, him and Aaron Rodgers did not seem to get along at all. It seems like Aaron Rodgers didn't like him from the jump.
Here's my problem with Aaron Rodgers. You can't stop giving the ball to somebody because you don't like him. I mean, he's still a piece. He's still, I mean, you know, the guy has ability. He can catch a football.
Yeah.
You've seen him do it ample time, just even since he's been here, not even given the opportunity that maybe he should have been given. Mike, this guy, I think, is a solid baller. He was on that Michigan championship team. And for whatever reason, Aaron and his being in Aaron's doghouse is kind of annoying in a sense because Pat Freiermuth, you know, kind of fell in Aaron's doghouse. And to me, I don't know. Again, Aaron does bring good to the table. Also, again, we're sitting around worrying about who's going to be in the doghouse from Aaron Rodgers. These are guys on your team. They're receivers. Throw him the effing ball. If he's going to catch it, he's going to make a play. He's going to catch it, make a play. You didn't hesitate to give it to Jonnu Smith, who literally 222 yards this season in passing. So at the end of the day, I hate whenever Aaron Rodgers and all this favoritism shit comes up in the doghouse, because at the end of the day, you know, this is why they're on the team. Get them the ball, let them make a play if you can. If you can't, again, that's something that bothers me, but we'll get into that more as time goes on, Mike, and we do get closer. Know anything more about Aaron, he may not even be the quarterback here next season.
He might not be.
Let's go right here to Steeler Freak. He says Roman slept with Rodgers' AI wife.
Now, that might be the comment of the day. That's
pretty funny. That's a game ball candidate, John. Good one. Tyrone says waiting to see the trade details. Ginger Joe. Here's a question, Mike. How come every name that I'm seeing is very is a difficult name? If you're Cabernet.
Yeah.
Just go down the list of what Derpy has here. Every name I'm looking at, every name has been a bizarre name. What happened to the Smiths and the Joneses and the Browns? I don't know if those guys still exist, but Zach Cabernet was Seattle's running back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, from UCLA a few years ago. Yep.
Cash says this. I've heard Roman runs routes too fast and needs to learn how to pace himself to get open at the right time. So there's more scoop, guys. If possibly you're wondering what the hell is going on with Roman Wilson. The kid could catch a football at the end of the day. Get him out there at least. And especially in the dire wide receiver position that we were in for the past couple of seasons. That's when it really pissing me off with who cares if he's in your doghouse? Get him out there. If the guy can make a play, he's going to make a play.
Because if he can get it together this year, my God, this receiving core is going to be set up nice for whoever's throwing the ball.
Absolutely. And as Steel Loyal saying, that's why he is working with the route guard. So I hope to see him, like, and again, the fact that we have people over him and we don't have to depend on Roman Wilson to be good enough to be the number two. And you're depending on this guy to be good enough to be the number two. And then you're worried about if Aaron Rodgers likes the guy or not.
Yeah.
So again, things are starting to get better, guys. Again, an hour and 35 minutes into the tampering period in this NFL season is happening, guys. There's already moves that are being made that's going to change the dynamic of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Michael Pittman Jr. Finally pulling that position in, Mike. I think a lot of people are excited about that here in Pittsburgh. Also, some guys leaving, though. If you're just tuning in and you haven't heard anything, Kenneth Gainwell. Yes, that's right. The Steelers team MVP last year on his way to Tampa Bay. He will not be back to Pittsburgh, not this year at least. And also James Pierre, Mike, a lot of question marks about him. Is he going to get the bag? Did he prove himself enough to get that big contract? Well, if it does happen, it's not going to be here. It's not going to be here. Asante Samuel Jr. signed here back this morning, Mike. He's going to be here, and James Pierre off to Minneapolis to play for the Minnesota Vikings. So there are a lot of things happening, Mike, in just first hour and 36 minutes, as expected.
Yeah, a lot going on. Real quick, after all the moves with the Steelers and re-signing Asante Samuel and Cole Holcomb, we're sitting at still at 25.7, almost $25.8 million in cap space. That's still 11th in the NFL, and there's still probably contracts that we can restructure to free up even more money to go get more free agents as the day goes by, or as the weeks go by via free agency.
Mike, speaking of talking about guys leaving, guys re-signing, guys staying, Derpy, you might have caught this. You are a social media guy. You're a guy. You're always diving around on social media. What was the recent Darnell Washington cryptic post over the weekend, Mike? It was just one of these faces. As he's putting his finger up, like shh. Does anybody have any scoop on that, Mike? Did you get any information? Is this maybe something involving his contract? Is this maybe involving something that he knew that was coming for the Steelers? What do you make of this cryptic tweet by Darnell Washington?
I saw that as well, and I was wondering, like, does he know of a move happening in the background that we don't know? I don't know. Maybe it could be, hey, they're going to announce a contract extension with him. I would like that very much, but I don't know. You never know when guys do stuff like that. At least he didn't, remove the Steelers from all social media.
Well, that's a good thing. Once they remove the team from the social media, then it's official. It's Facebook official, and then it's got to happen. Let's get back on the board, see what everybody's saying. Again, welcome everybody. Welcome to a lot of new faces, new names. Welcome to the terrible board. Glad to see everybody. This is free agent frenzy this week, guys. On the two Dum Yinzers today, it's time to tamper. Mike, as the tampering period started at noon today, Somber says, I also heard that he needs to learn how to throttle his routes. You know what? I hope he gets it together. And as I said, Mike, it seems getting Michael Pittman Jr. early on like this is going to maybe answer and mold the way that we do attack that first round pick, maybe a little bit differently. Maybe, as you said, they might even go after a defensive lineman again, being consistent with the line drafts, Mike, of the past 5 years, trying to build this team off of a solid foundation of offense and defensive linemen. You can't rule it out now. Again, getting Michael Pittman in this early on in free agency. And again, still a lot of time because free agency doesn't even officially kick off for another 50 hours and 21 minutes. So so much could happen between now and then.
Yeah, I think right now we're seeing like some of the bigger moves being made. And then the next couple of days, I think the news will start trickling in about like, I think that's when you're going to see your offensive linemen and your defensive linemen start to be signed.
Right.
So this is a nice little start, though, for the Steelers. I liked what they did. Brought back a guy who can be your starting quarter, trade for a starting wide receiver, and then a nice little backup depth piece in special teams demon with Cole Holcomb. So good move so far.
Let's jump right here to where John Steeler Freak says, I believe Rodgers made up his mind about players, and it is done after that. Somber says the Falcons are signing veteran Nick Folk to a 2-year deal. Guys, Nick Folk, Mike, there you go.
The kicker. At first, I thought it was Nick Foles. I was like, wait,
I did too when I first read it.
Yeah, I know.
It took me Super Bowl winning Nick Foles?
Yeah, I was like, oh, the kicker, man. He's still kicking around the league.
He's a real OG. There he goes. Steel Loyal, my man. All the great scoop again, guys. Greatly appreciative. Keep it coming. Any information comes out, bring it up. We will make sure to nail it. Derpy hot on it as he's sitting in the background of Mike.
He's like Adam Schefter over here.
He is like Adam Schefter. I love it. Always doing great work, Derpy. Mike, let's move on. Indianapolis Colts. I like that. I like the way he spelled that tortilla. I've never seen it in that light, Mike, but that's also a game ball candidate. Tyrone says fact reconstruct MFers get more bread. That's right, Somber. Mm-hmm. They could easily get back up to $50 million easily. That's what Somber's saying, Mike. Tyrone is saying PQ, TJ, DK, J Ram.
Yeah, those are the guys that I look at for contract renegotiations.
PQ will be back. Mike, and here's the thing. It's an unpopular opinion. Some of these other guys, I know that they're kind of debatable as well. But PQ, he's he'll be around, right?
Yeah, he'll be around. This is the last year of his contract.
Exactly.
It'll be a smart move to let him go. And if he signs elsewhere, that can work with our the comp pick formula.
Also, I do want to say what's up to Cody, my man Cody, all the way from Texas, brother. Always great to see Cody. He says Omar is a bum, and then Cody says KG to the Bucks. Always great seeing you. Still loyal. Says you're late, Cody. Guys, giving him the shit on the board. Cody says James Pierre to the Vikings. That's he's on his way, man. And you know what? Good for him. Hope things go
Cody
well.
got Windows 98.
What's that?
He said Cody got Windows 98.
Derpy.
Also, let me go to Rob D. I do want to say what's up to Rob D. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board. He says, stop talking about Romeo and Dobbs. Honestly, Pittman is better, and given Steelers signed him to a 59 million. Oh, where did it go on me? 59 million, 3-year tells me Dobbs wants 20 plus million. You could assume one Jennings also wanted 20 plus, more than likely, Rob. Great. Thank you for the message on the terrible board. Still loyal says Cody got Windows 98. Cody says, I think Omar Khan sucks. Let's scoot up a little bit right here too. Big J Media Content Group. I do want to say welcome to the show and the terrible board to Big J Media Content Group. He says Pittman Jr. good pickup. Who do the Steelers bring in to replace number 14?
That's a good question right there.
That is a good question.
That's
I think mostly everybody wanted KG back at the end of the day.
I wanted KG back. I like what he brought to the table. There's the Falcons running back whose name I've been butchering all day long, so I'm not going to butcher that poor man's name again. I've heard Rico Dwadley, former Cowboy, former Carolina Panther last year. Those are the two names I've heard linked to the Steelers, but I don't know, man. Wouldn't surprise me if they get a veteran that we didn't even think about and then run it back with Caleb Johnson, Jalen Warren, a veteran, and then someone else in the draft.
Let me grab, I'm going to go right here. Okay, right here, Mike. I'm going to go to John Dudenhofer. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, sir. If I'm not, I apologize. He says most are more than willing to give DK Metcalf the benefit of the doubt for his underperforming last season. Maybe he'll be number 2 by the season opener. And at the end of the day, again, it feels good to have somebody over there at the other position. I'm kind of. It eases the blow a little bit, even with the DK Metcalf drops and the other things we're talking about, some of these other situations with the lesser wide receivers at the end of the day, Mike, because we got Michael Pittman. That kind of just brightened the mood a little bit, I think, just as a Steeler fan overall. Derpy has up-to-date news. What's going on, Derpy?
From Adam Schefter, Ravens free agent center Tyler Linderbaum reached agreement today on a record deal with the Raiders. 81 million, 3 years, 81 million.
Mike, the Raiders, like the Jets, is this team going to ever be anything? It doesn't seem like it. Doesn't matter who they bring in, they're still going to be the Raiders. At the end of the day, Mike, Tyler Linderbaum to the Raiders, a big move. The center, of course, from the Ravens. Does the Raiders become competitive like they once were, or do they still kind of fall into that Jets category? No matter what you bring here, and they have a lot going on right now. You're getting number 1 pick. You're getting Ashton Genty in the backfield. A lot of moves, as you're seeing right here. Mike, does the Raiders come to become a competitor in the AFC West now, especially with the Chargers on the rise, the Broncos on the rise, the Chiefs not so much last year, but again, they are the Chiefs. Mike, does the Raiders do they improve noticeably by all this addition that they've been bringing in over the past couple seasons?
I think they have a long way to go. Like I like some of the guys they have. I like Austin Genty. I love Brock Bowers, Jackson Powers Johnson on the line. I like because I wanted him or Zach Frazier, but I still think they have a long way to go. Just because that's just a terribly run organization from top to bottom. They cycle through coaches and GMs. They never have a set philosophy. Like at least with Al Davis, you knew what he wanted. Right. He just wanted speed and nasty guys, like angry dudes.
That sounds like my sister.
Right? It's just weird what's going on. out there. There's no set philosophy. And my guy, Towson Algier, goes to the Cardinals.
There you go. Algier is off to the Cardinals. Mike, that was your guy. Let's do. Get back on the terrible board. I'm going to go right here Tyrone, he says, I like Pittman over Dobbs, not going to lie. Steeler Freak says, I think Kahn does what Rooney wants. Yinzer Joe, players in the locker room have admitted that they were wrong about Rodgers' attitude and the way he acts towards players. I have a hard time thinking Roman Wilson's downtime in play was because of Rodgers. Interesting. Maybe just couldn't learn his playbook. Maybe that's what it was.
Could be. Never know with him. Never know, because you're never going to get the full answer of what went down. Even when a guy leaves, they never really tell you the truth. Or they have their version of the truth.
Let's go back to let's get back here to RB, where he says Rachaad White does everything KG does. Rachaad White.
White, not bad.
Not bad. Also, Tortilla says Cody hates Omar so much he's pretending to care about the air. Rob D, he says this massive disappointment in yet another year of mistake at quarterback with not jumping on Malik Willis with super low $67 million 3-year, meaning he gets $22.5 million a year. Yes, the guarantee is more than the $35-40 expected. There you go, Mike. The Algier. Cody did help you on the terrible board. Let's see. Linderbaum, Mike. Again, this is another player that's leaving Baltimore, the big rival in the division. So what do they have up their sleeves for the center position, Mike? Maybe they're going to hit the draft. Maybe they're looking around the league right now. Who knows? But again, Tyler Linderbaum, Mike, leaving Baltimore on his way to Las Vegas.
I'm loving watching Baltimore lose more pieces on their offense.
Let's go right here.
It's great.
Let's go to Cody. He says, I don't care about any players that left. I'm glad they keep in Asante Samuel Jr. It was fun watching him guard Darren Waller last year. Tyrone says Ravens lost 2 key guys, traded 2 first for aging edge rusher. You know what I mean? Isaiah Likely gone. Linderbaum gone. They did bring in Max Crosby, Mike, who again has never had 15 sacks in a season, and they brought him in on a trade with 2.
Yeah.
2 first-round draft picks, Mike, only done 15 other times in the history of the NFL. Somebody traded for 2 first-round draft picks, and apparently they think that Max Crosby, who's never exceeded 15 sacks in a season, Mike, is worth 2 first-round draft picks to bring him to Baltimore.
I don't see it. I like Max Crosby as a player. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not giving up 2 first-round draft picks for him unless I think that's the piece I needed that's going to put me over the hump. And we saw their defense last year. We saw their offense last year. They need more help than just Max Crosby on that defense.
You ain't kidding. That's what I thought.
They need, like I like some of the guys they have in the back end, like Nate Wiggins, Kyle Hamilton, and the other safety that they drafted last year. I like what they have back there. It's that front 7 needs work. You don't know what's going on with Matabuke. He might never play again, and then you go and get an edge rusher. I just don't see how they think that's a smart move. I would have stayed at 14 and I would have drafted a wide receiver right there.
Mike, I want to jump over to, I'm just grabbing this first right off the top. Mike Willis going to Miami. Now he's a question mark to me. We've seen Willis in a smaller doses do very well. Mike, what does Malik Willis to Miami? How does this affect that team? Of course, they're having a fire sale. Any of these receivers could be gone at any given moment. I think down there in Miami. What are the fortunes of the Miami Dolphins moving forward with Malik Willis? Again, this is going to be interesting to watch because a lot of people wanted him to be our quarterback here in Pittsburgh, Mike, as we're seeing on the board and in the messages today. What does Miami? What direction do they go now? Again, they're kind of selling. They're selling a lot. Are they starting over in a way? Are they kind of what's going on with the Dolphins?
I don't know what they're doing. I'm intrigued by Malik Willis. I see a completely different quarterback than what we saw down in Tennessee and when he was coming out in the draft process. I like how he fit in that system up in Green Bay. Like coming down here to Miami, they have a whole new coaching staff. I don't know what kind of system they're going to play in, but Devon Arcane's not a bad running back. Jalen Waddle's still a good target right there, but they still need help on the O-line. They need some more weapons on offense. It's going to be interesting to see how he operates in a new system outside of that. Was it Matt LaFleur offense up in Green Bay? I want to see what he can do. But like I said, he looks like a much different quarterback from year one to now. You can see he has worked on his game to get where he is. I thought he could have went somewhere else that's in a little better shape than Miami right now, where they're getting rid of so many players because they're in salary cap hell. They just ate almost $100 million in contract from Tua. They're not going to be able to add a lot of help to you this year. So to me, that was a head scratcher, but I kind of don't blame him. Go who's going to get you the most money, because you never know what's going to happen in your NFL career. But I thought that might have been better scheme fits elsewhere for him.
Let's jump back on the board. I'm going to go to Rob D. Rob D says this on the terrible board. Now that Pittsburgh has 2 strong wide receivers, I doubt very much they'll use number 1 pick on wide receiver. Watch out for Ty Simpson or Core. You know what? I highly doubt. I highly doubt they go one on a quarterback. I just do. For one, I don't think that Ty. I think Ty Simpson might be a good pick for the Steelers in this particular draft, but at the end of the day, that's a number 1. That's you're going Kenny Pickett basically again. Yes, you have the dudes from Alabama. I understand the differences between Kenny and Ty, but at the end of the day, do you think that the Steelers are going to go number 1 on a quarterback again? Just this many years after, it seems to me that maybe, just maybe, they might have their eyes on somebody next year with a lot more coming out of the draft or coming out of college into the draft next season. It just don't seem logical to me to go after Ty Simpson at this point. I'm not saying is it going to happen. I'm not going to say it might not happen in later rounds. But to go after him early, I think would be a huge mistake for the Steelers. You could get so much more at that point that you need. And again, if Ty Simpson was going to be the future and they thought that this guy was going to be the franchise quarterback, and that's totally different. But at the end of the day, I don't think that Ty falls into that category. But again, if they do get him, if they do grab Ty Simpson somewhere along the way, I think it'll certainly be down the road in the draft if he's still available.
If he keeps falling, yeah. I just not enamored with him. I know
this is point, Mike. Just to think of the teams that need quarterbacks. The Raiders, you know what they're going to go after. The Jets. There's only so many quarterbacks in this draft. I mean, how can these guys not fail unless people are going to start picking quarterbacks up to add a little depth to their quarterback room? But at the end of the day, there's not many teams that desperately need quarterbacks at this point, Mike. And again, for Dan Mendoza, being the biggest one, he'll be gone with the first pick, and after that, it's scattered in my opinion.
Yeah, I just was not impressed with him. I know what Ty Simpson. He had the medical concerns the last year, but I just not a fan. But there will be a team that will take him somewhere. Like I wouldn't be surprised early in the second round if he makes it out of the first round, because teams are always trying to find and upgrade that quarterback position. But I just hope it's not us. We have more holes on this roster than a needing of a Ty Simpson.
John Dudenhofer. Hope I'm getting it right again. He says this, is Malik Willis still available? Most people call me dude. Gotcha. And you know what? I call most people dude. So it works out perfect. Glad to have you here, John. Malik Willis is a Dolphin, guys. He is a Dolphin. He's heading on his way to Miami. Diesel says, I do want to say, what's up, Diesel? He says, was not worth it. Steel Loyal says, Willis is a Dolphin. Let me get past these Willis comments. Went to the Dolphins, 3 years, $67 million. TJ is better in not getting 2 first pick. First, probably not 1. I agree. I agree 100%. And again, remember, Max Crosby never even had 15 sacks in a season, which if you are the guy that's getting 2 first round, you're getting traded for 2 first round draft picks, there should be something very, very attractive about you. Yes, the guy plays out of his mind. Yes, he's a baller. He brings it. You see it in his play, but again, at the end of the day, Mike, he's never reached 15 sacks in a season for 2 first round picks. That's going to leave some questions, Mike, at the end of the day. Listen, I think he's going to do fine. He's a great ball player, and playing on Baltimore's defense, I'm sure he's going to do well against us. But at the end of the day, that seems an awful steep for a guy who never had 15 sacks in a season.
And I don't get me wrong, I like Max Crosby.
I do too.
I thought the year when Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year the first time, I thought Max Crosby played better than than both Garrett and TJ Watt that year. So even then, I still want to trade 2 first-round draft picks for an edge rusher. I would not do that.
I would agree.
Quarterback, yeah. Cornerback, I would damn think about who that cornerback is. But yeah, I'd probably do that. But that's just for an edge. That production has gone up and down the past 2 years. That hasn't been that consistent. That to me, that was too steep of a price.
Derpy.
Derpy.
Anything new going on? Anything on the wire?
It looks like things have slowed down so far. Right.
All right, guys.
Moment.
Touching on the second hour, hour number 2, as the beginning of tampering period kicks off in this free agent frenzy week, Mike. Here on the Two Dum Yinzers today is the beginning of tampering, the tampering period, and there's a lot of tampering going on as we see, Mike, so far in the first hour and 57 minutes of the tampering period in this free agent frenzy week. Again, a lot of things happening. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Michael Pittman Jr. finally adding us a wide receiver to play opposite side of DK Metcalf. The first time, Mike, since GP and DK about a year ago, which again lasted about 14 seconds.
I think it was the same day too.
Say that.
Derpy, hold on.
Derpy.
What's going on?
Travis Etienne to the Saints.
Travis Etienne to the Saints. He was another person, Mike, that they was possibly considering filling the void if Kenneth Gainwell would move. Also, if you're just tuning in, Kenneth Gainwell is gone. The Steelers MVP from 2025 is on his way to Tampa Bay. James Pierre is gone. The cornerback from the Steelers is on his way to Minnesota. Michael Pittman Jr., the wide receiver, on his way to Pittsburgh to play opposite side of DK Metcalf. And again, so many other moves also happening around the league. Malik Willis to Miami, Tua to Atlanta. The people, Mike, they're just moving. Again, this is a lot of times in off season. This is what you look forward to, seeing new faces and new cities, new colors and new names. Mike, it's truly a big part of the off season. And again, this week is the free agent frenzy, and we're just 45 days away from the draft right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as they expect 700,000 people to cram into the triangle, into the point, into North Shore, everywhere, Mike. There's going to be people galore in just 45 days. But today is the first part, Mike, of really starting to add to or take away from the roster that was inherited by Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, they're reshaping it in his image. It's going to be interesting to see what more we get, man. First day, man, I was thinking, we're not going to do anything special. I thought this would be kind of long and drawn out, us bantering back and forth. Are we going to do anything? Are we going to do anything? Kind of like we did right before the Pittman trade. So this day has gone great for the Steelers so far. Hopefully, going forward, we can.
As I say that,
what you got, Derpy?
Derpy.
Former Giants star wide receiver Wayndale Robinson signing with the Titans.
Oh, well, that was a good move for them.
Reunites with Brian DeBoer.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't a big fan of when he first came out, but he's gotten better year over year. So good. That was a good signing for them. But man, like the Steelers, hopefully, we start attacking some offensive linemen and defensive linemen in the next couple of days.
You know what? They're going to be coming because we need a left side of the offensive line again. Still no word on Siamalu. What's going to go down with him? That's certainly something we'll be keeping our mind on, Mike, as again, the left side of the line is a question mark moving forward. If Siamalu leaves, we have to fill that guard. And you know what? Brody over on the left tackle. Who knows what's going on with Broderick Jones? Dylan Cook played well enough at the end of the year to maybe be considered an option, Mike, but still that left side of the offensive line certainly needs help. We're early on in the tampering period of free agency. Who knows? We may pick something up here, but also, again, Mike, at the end of the day, 45 days away is the draft right here in Pittsburgh. So one way or the other, we're going to be tackling all these issues, Mike, defensive line issues, offensive line issues. Again, picking up the wide receiver that we so desperately needed for 2 seasons. Yeah, Derpy.
Yeah, nothing's happened, but since the Saints signed Etienne, Kamara watch?
No.
I mean, he's got to be an option at this point. You know what I mean? His name came up last year before we picked up Gainwell. Kamara was thrown around. But at this point, Mike, we are sitting here with Jalen Warren and Caleb Johnson. So
Yeah.
something's got to give at some point at the running back room. Again, Mike, also Travis Etienne on the move as he heads to, where did he go, Derpy? The Saints.
He went to the Saints. And, Alvin Kamara is still under contract. And now he had one touchdown last year.
I mean, that's fine. We're not
Played 11
saying that we
games.
want the guy. We're just looking at options at this point, Mike. Who else can be options at the running back room? But a lot of people are going to be asking this question. Again, it's Kenneth Gainwell. I don't think a lot of people wanted him to leave.
No, and like who was it? Rashad White that I think RB said. Rico Dwadway is still out there. He might be an option.
Rico Suave.
Rico Suave. Yeah.
Mike,
there's some guys out there. Hey, Najee Harris might be available.
And you know what? I listen. People aren't going to like it because they kind of fell into the impression that he wasn't anything good. But at the end of the day, I like Najee. No other running backs hit 1,000 yards in the 1,000 yards a season all those years in a row that he did. That's something. That is something. I don't hate Najee. You know that, Mike. Let me go to Danny Boyling. Danny Boyling says this remains to be seen if Roman Wilson will be a good receiver or not. Was good in college doesn't mean translate. That's true. 100% true. Danny, great to see you on the terrible board, my friend. Hope things are going well for you. I'm going to just bounce backwards for a moment here to get Steel Loyal. They need Kenneth Walker and Jeremiah Love. I don't see it. I'm not sure who that was referring to. Kansas City was referring to. Let me go back up now, Mike. Let's go to Diesel. Diesel says Homer Simpson. Also, Somber says first round wide receiver still very much in play.
Mm-hmm. Dotson to the Falcons. Jahan Dotson.
Oh,
another receiver off the board.
Yeah,
Falcons really active, Mike.
Yeah. As someone who's never lived up to their first round billing coming out of Penn State when he went to the Commanders, but he's still a productive pro.
Well, that's big.
Yeah, I wonder who their quarterback's going to be.
Also, Tyrone says maybe I don't know now with the trade. Maybe I don't know now with the trade and extended. Cody said they need a first round wide receiver. Our wide receivers are still old at the end of the day, Mike. That's a good point as well. They're not exactly youngsters anymore. So maybe, again, as Somber was suggesting earlier, maybe they will go after.
Yeah.
What's that?
I was responding to the comment. They said I didn't say window.
All right.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they do go and get a couple wide receivers in the draft, like you said, because these guys are getting up there in age.
I think it wouldn't make sense not to.
Yeah, and I still think if you don't go first round, there should be someone sitting there in the second. There's going to be guys in the third and fourth round that can fit into this receiving core.
Oh my!
What do you got, Derpy?
Former Patriots lineman Kyrese Tonga.
Yeah,
signing with the Chiefs. 3 years, $21 million.
Oh, there you go, guys. On the move. They're moving. They're certainly moving.
That's pretty big. That's a pretty good move.
Let's move up, Mike. I'm start seeing more names. Gainwell to the Bucks does not make any sense, is what Diesel is saying. Cody Tua went to Atlanta. Also, I'm going to go right here. Steel Loyal says Wan'Dale Robinson to the Titans. Tyrone wants Brisker. Diesel said I think Pittman was the best choice. I didn't see that coming. The big guys on the outside in the draft, a flashy slot, just need a QB. Steel Loyal says my dog's name is Rico. One of my best friends growing up, his name was Rico, as a matter of fact, as well. Uncle Rico, Diesel said. I do want to say welcome to TC Steels. TC Steels, welcome to the show. He says, how about Rashad White? And I think Mike just
that was that. Yeah, one of our guys. He mentioned him earlier, and I wouldn't be opposed to that. He'd replace what Kenny Gainwell gave you.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. As that is going to be a hole to fill, Mike. Of course, Somber says the Chiefs have agreed to terms with Tonga on a 3-year, $21 million deal, as Derpy was just saying, with $14 million guaranteed. Danny says not impressed with Caleb, and neither am I. Not one bit. Not one bit. Again, I have to.
Yet?
I'm sorry.
Can we release him yet?
They're not going to give up on him that quick.
Let's see. Also, yeah, I he has to show you something next year or this year. He has
blew up
to.
the game. He blew us a game that we should have probably won.
And here's another thing. Well, we did lose that game by 2 touchdowns, so
It wasn't just all
It was
one hit.
closer. It was closer than when he dropped that.
It was closer
kick
when he
return.
dropped it. Also, I do want to say this though, guys. No, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. I forget where I was going to go with that, so I'm going to continue on the board, Mike. I was heading somewhere, and then Derpy threw me
Sorry.
off. No, you're good, brother. You're good. You got all the scoop, man. Keep it coming.
Derpy.
Let's go right here to Rashad White should be available. That's what I was going to say. Mike, that's pretty big shoes to fill. Because again, what Gainwell brought to this offense this last season, and him not being in there, now you still have half the battle. You still have your Jalen Warren, but then you also still have Caleb Johnson, Mike, who has hardly established himself in any capacity with the Steelers. So that's a big hole right now. Very interested to see how we tackle the running back room at this point moving forward.
Yeah, we need someone who can be the pass catching back out of the backfield. I know Jalen Warren can do it; he can catch pretty well, but I like to have someone who can have that skill set plus be a viable running threat too. Kind of how Gainwell became.
Let's stay on the board, guys. A lot of new names, a lot of new faces. John says this. John Dudenhofer, says this. Najee Harris was good. The O-lines. I agree. There was a terrible offensive line. It was a terrible offense. It was a terrible offensive coordinator. Najee still managed to get 1,000 yards in every one of his seasons here in Pittsburgh. Come on, that's crazy talk. I like Najee. Cash says this: trade up to get Jeremiah Love if we don't go running back. Also, Loud, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Loud Hardly on the board. He said, Willis, trash, 2-game wonder. Use Willis when you play with your PlayStation. Also, Cash says, in free agency, question mark. TC Steele says, why not Stephon Diggs? Like, why do we not like Stephon Diggs? Again, he's a name people talk about, some of the better names of wide receivers in the league. Of course, Chase has certainly really overtaken that. But just 2 years ago, you're talking Diggs, you're talking Jetta, Mike. Why do you not have interest in Stephon Diggs at this particular point? I know the other day you mentioned that you didn't.
Yeah, anymore it's just like the off the field stuff with them. Like too much of a distraction. We're trying to get away from that now. So that would be a thing right there. Like he's still productive on the field, but too much drama off the field.
All right, I agree. Again, Mike, who was his girlfriend? Cardi B or
it was Cardi B? Then
and
he lost the Super Bowl. Whichever one was, like dumped him right after the Super Bowl, or allegedly did, or something.
Let's go to right here. Steelers made a trade. Vegas said that. I don't know what that was. I forget what that was referring to, but I'm going to move to Tortilla. Tortilla says, yes, sir. We got Pittman. Okay, there we go. I think that's might have been what he was going for, was the free agency news. Pittman for a 6 and a 4th. Vegas, yes, we did get Michael Pittman Jr. Gotcha. I'm back on the same page now.
I haven't seen that confirmed anywhere.
What's that? The
Pittman and a 6'4" 4th round pick. I haven't seen that anywhere. I was just doing a little research on it.
Gotcha.
If it's true though, I'm okay with giving up a 4th rounder for him.
Steel Loyal says 4 years, $52 million for NTN. Also, I do want to say welcome to Tater. Tater, nice to see you, man. It is free agency, of course. Tater, the resident Browns fan.
We got another one.
Derpy.
Splash for the Saints. They're signing former Bills guard David Edwards.
Oh, he was someone I was hoping the Steelers would get.
That would have been big. So there you go, guys. The faces and names keep on moving. They keep on moving. I was saying hi to Tater. Tater, great seeing you, my man. Hope you are enjoying the free agent frenzy as today the tampering period begins all the way from across the pond. Actually from Ireland, a Browns fan from Ireland. That's why I think that's why we keep him around. I don't know, but he's been fun. So what the hell? Let's go to Loud, my man Loud Harley saying this: I'm going to write a book for Steeler fans on how to determine what a QB is. Ty Simpson is garbage. Steel Loyal says, I haven't seen anything about what we gave up for Pittman other than it was a late round pick or 2. Tyrone, you heard late round pick. We'll see. Can't be higher than a 4. Loud said education is needed. Diesel says that's a steal for Pittman. Diesel also says White is Gainwell. I like him. Cody says so far we have Pittman and well, you're right, Cody. As far as anybody coming in today, it's just Pittman at this point. But we do know other things, though. We do know that Kenneth Gainwell is gone. So, again, we start to look at options and understand what the draft may look like here in just 45 days here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But again, this move kind of allows wheels to turn in other areas that you might have been at a standstill. Again, Michael Pittman Jr. coming to the Steelers. I know Mike's excited. I know a lot of people on the board's excited. Derpy. Again, I couldn't be more excited again, Mike, because a legit 1-2 combination. Like I said, with the exception of those 6 seconds, the DK and GP were on the team last year. This is probably the most excited I've been about the wide receiver room in quite a few years.
Oh yeah, same here. Same here. This is I'm stoked. I'm ecstatic. I'm happy. My nipples are hard.
Oh my!
I'm ready to go. What you got, Derpy?
Edwards'
Derpy.
contract is 4 years, $61 million with the Saints. That's kind of an overpay. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, that's like the Tyler Limbaum deal too was an overpay. These big bastards up front are getting paid. Good job, fellas.
I do want to say welcome to Robert Springer as well. Welcome to the Terrible Board, sir. Welcome to the show. He says a 5th and 4th pick swap. I think possibly what that is, or 6th. He's saying. I'm sorry, he did correct himself. He says 4th, 5th, and 6th. Let's go to Somber as far as external sightings, and then Cody. Cody says this. Omar Khan is a turtle. You think he just sits there and says, let's wait for a few days to sign cheap people. I do want to say welcome to Donald as well. Donald says, Cowboys fan, watch Coach Marv. Welcome to the board, Donald. And then Loud Harley says this, let Will Howard play and see what happens. If he sucks, we draft a QB next year. Very simple. I would think it's a common sense thing, but that's, again, not everybody agrees with us, Loud. He says, free agent quarterbacks suck. Save the $100 million. I'm happy my friend Minka is coming home. So a Jets fan, or at least living in New York, maybe Loud is. Diesel says we got Pittman re-signed, Holcomb and Samuel Jr. And that is as far, yes.
Boom.
100% Diesel. Derpy, go ahead.
Derpy.
Raiders have agreed to terms with Jalen Naylor on a 3-year, $35 million contract.
Who is it? One more time.
Jalen Naylor.
Jalen Naylor. I am seeing that as well on the top of the board. Jalen Naylor to the Raiders. I'm sorry. But yes, to go back to what Diesel was saying, maybe that's what was being asked. Because Cody, yes, we did. We re-signed Asante Samuel Jr. We did sign Cole Holcomb. Asante Samuel is signed on a 1-year, $4 million contract. Cole Holcomb is signed on a 2-year, $5 million contract. Of course, a depth piece at the inside linebacker spot. And Michael Pittman, the big pickup, of course, filling that much needed void, Mike, at wide receiver that we needed for years.
Yeah. So good opening day of free agency for the Steelers. They did not overspend on anyone. So hopefully there's some negotiations going on to Darnell Washington.
Yo.
Whoa. All right, we're back.
Sorry about that, guys. I lost my board on my main page, Mike, but I'm still good here.
Yep,
we're
yep,
still
we're
good.
still good.
We do apologize. A little burp in the action. We do apologize.
Yeah, some burps in the action and hiccups right here, man. I don't know what's going on, but we seem to be rocking and rolling, still going strong, boys.
Let's do it, guys. Diesel said Naylor got some money. Dang. Also, Christophus, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Christophus on a terrible board, my man. He says our wide receiver just went from DK Metcalf and the Smurfs to the land of the Giants. Pittman is an awesome pickup. I couldn't agree with you more, Christophus. Hope things are going well for you, brother. Always great seeing you on a terrible board, my man. John says this. John Dudenhofer, of course. A couple of Johns on the board. That's the only reason I keep going with Dude's whole name, but I'm gonna go with Dude. He did say go with Dude, and that actually comes very easy for me. Let's go to where Dude says this is Minka coming back. Maybe new DC for him. Minka is on his way to the Jets, actually, John. I am eventually maybe, but definitely not this year. Minka is on his way to the Jets. Cody says last year was Darrell Waller just caught the ball over his head standing.
Oh my goodness, Jets are making moves.
Derpy, what's going on?
Derpy.
Jets have agreed to terms with veteran D tackle David Achimata. I can't pronounce that, but he's from the Falcons. $10 million.
Right. I got to be honest with you. Nobody has a normal name in the free agency this year. Every name has been completely difficult to pronounce. And again, if it's not your Steelers,
David Onyemata.
and if it's not your Steelers, it's some of these names are foreign to you. And it's all right. Olimata is what Mike just said. Olimata, the hockey player. Is what
He
Mike
finally
just said.
woke up from his drunken stupor.
I do believe that's what's going on. Somber says Raiders trying to do something. Can't let Mendoza look too horrible. Derpy in the dog having conversation again. Steel Loyal says corners ain't supposed to be guarding a tight end. LOL. Steeler Freak says this one day since the last John's keeping track on that. But again, as I was saying to Dude, John also, Steeler Freak is also a John. So I think Dude is going to be Dude. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Blame that on Tomlin and Austin. Let's go to, I recognize this name, but I do have trouble. Get ahead of minus 40 club. Get ahead of minus 40 club. He says this, we got our Pitman. That's right, baby.
I like the play on words there.
I do too. Very Eminem-like, if you will. Somber says the Jets have agreed to terms with, okay, Derpy did get that, Mike. That is Animata. That is a 1 year, $10.5 million deal with $9.65 million guaranteed. I think Tortilla says fire Derpy's dog.
I'm all for it. How about we fire Derpy and keep the dog?
We tried. He doesn't go away. He's
like
this.
Herpes, man. He's like herpes, man. He keeps coming back.
That's what they tell me. Loud Harley says, I'm a lifelong Steeler fan, but I live in New York. My friend's son was teammates with Minka in high. That's awesome, bro. Good kid and friend, great family. That he is. And that's the thing. Minka's a good dude. There's no two ways about it. I never had a problem with the man. Just the way he fell off, Mike. I liked early Minka a lot better than latter Minka. Tyrone, he says, Omar, make another move. Brisker be huge. Mike, as we were kind of rounding third here, what's your take on everything that we've seen today? So much action, so much going on, so many faces moving to different places. Anything really stand out to you? Before you go on, I'll make mine, and then I'm going to let you to thoroughly answer the question. Mike, I think the Kenneth Walker going to Kansas City could change things around for Kansas City and maybe get them back on the right side of things. Like here's the thing: Kansas City's not too far off from being that team again. You got to consider that a lot of these players were just on this team that was in the AFC game for 30 years in a row. It seemed like does Kenneth Walker really give them an edge back, Mike? And who else around the free agency really catches your eye into being a big move, a big thing that's going to help somebody go a long way?
Yeah, and I also like the D tackle, the Chiefs got. That was a smart move right there because their O lines and D lines have that's what let them down in the Super Bowl. So there's good additions there. What I'm noticing too is you can tell the teams that are successful. You notice they're not overspending on talent. They're not making the panic moves. Where now you're seeing the Jets, the Raiders giving guys, and even the Colts giving out these big contracts to guys. Like they're starting to overpay for players, and that's going to come back to bite you in the ass. Where you're seeing the successful teams getting the guys they want, maybe spending a little more than what they would like, but they're not going out blowing up, resetting the market for these guys. It's quite telling. You can tell who's going to be successful in the long run, and that's why I have no problem with Omar Khan being patient in free agency. I don't want him to overpay for guys that are going to totally eat up a shit ton of cap space to where we can't go and get guys to fill out the rest of the roster. We have to, we're making smart moves right now. I like what they are doing in Pittsburgh. I like what Kansas City's doing. The Raiders are kind of a head scratcher giving Limbaum that much money. If his contract was more in line with the rest of the centers throughout the NFL. I think that was a great move on their part, but I don't like that. I kind of like what the Saints are doing in Miami. It's going to be a long rebuild down there. But I think if Malik Willis,
Mike, they've
can
only been
be
rebuilding
legit,
since
that's a good move.
1972 in Miami,
I
so
know.
I don't expect it to speed up any with Malik Willis. They went through rebuilding with Dan Marino. Still, Mike hasn't really brought it together since 1972. Miami is Miami, Mike, and I'm sorry. Finish your thoughts.
Oh no, that was good. I think if he can keep developing the way he did, I think it was a smart move. Miami by getting him as the quarterback, and if you can rebuild quick with him, you can be competitive. But I don't think they're ever going to take over Buffalo.
Let's go to Somber right here. He says, I don't understand the want for Brisker. He's a strong safety. We already have Elliott and Castro behind him. Tyrone says, move J-Ram to nickel. Steel Loyal says Brisker plays both free and strong. Steel Loyal says he had 441 snaps at free safety last year.
Yep.
Somber says, but he's a true strong is the point I think that Somber's putting across. Also, Michael Anthony. I do want to say Michael Anthony's C3435. Unfortunately, Caleb got on Tomlin's bad boy list after he fumbled that kick return. And I thought it was a little harsh too, but at the end of the day as well, I mean, there was a lot of times, Michael, on kickoff returns, there was just no boost. There was no elusiveness. Just something about Caleb that I would have loved to see more from him in those opportunities. Yes, he did F up the play against Seattle early in the season. Yes, we lost by 2 touchdowns. So the people that are, that are ready to run Caleb Johnson out of the town, I think is crazy. But for the play overall, Mike, is where I'm still, there's still a lot left to be desired for me. I still maybe once, maybe twice seen an acceleration from him last season that caught my eye. Other than that, I didn't think the acceleration was there. 2, I didn't think he was all that elusive for everything that I heard about him prior coming out of Iowa. So again, Mike, he needs to make a big jump in his sophomore season and take advantage of every opportunity given to him. And again, maybe the F up in the Seattle game was enough to keep him in the doghouse all year. But I don't know. Come on, a whole entire season for a dude that accidentally lets a ball touch him in a game in the second game of the year. I think he should have had more opportunity. Yeah. But on the other hand, I would have liked to see more from the opportunities that he did have.
And he wasn't dressing down the stretch. So, they see these guys in practice day in, day out. So if they're not noticing any improvement in him and hitting the holes with 0 acceleration, why would you dress that guy?
I agree.
Like, in the pass blocking, I know someone's going to brought that up too.
Deal? Why
he wasn't asked to do it at all in college. So he never had to refine and work on that.
Well, in college, they didn't pay you millions of dollars. Now you have to learn new things and do your job. Yeah. Again, catch a ball. Listen, catching a ball shouldn't be the most difficult thing in the world for a football player to do at the end of the day. Chances are you probably caught 1 million balls in your lifetime, and that's not even in playing in the game. At the end of the day, I don't understand. It takes a whole year because this guy hasn't caught a ball in pros. It's a ball. I'm pretty sure you might have caught one before if you made it to D1 to play football. I'm just saying. Yeah. Come on.
I was not happy with the pick when it happened, especially like when you saw him run at the combine. You start breaking down his numbers: slow 40s, slow 10-yard split. Then you watch him play at the NFL level, 0 acceleration whatsoever.
I agree. The acceleration was terrible. Very, very unimpressed with the acceleration that he displayed. Mark Malone, the big Johnson, will be fine blocking. Also, Steel Loyals is best blocking running back in the league. Somber says, I'd rather draft a young Swiss Army knife like Stukes. Diesel, Brian Cook be a good free safety. Somber says, Caleb never was really elusive. And you know what? I'm not familiar with him in college, but I do know that he certainly wasn't last year. So certainly an observation that I made after really watching for the first time. Steel Loyal says Caleb is only elusive when he's at full speed. His later quickness is lacking. Let me scoot up here a little bit more. Tyrone KG been in the lab with a pen and a pad trying to get this label off. Also, Somber says, yes, tight hips, like Calvin Austin III. Steel Loyal agrees with him. And also Steeler Freak John says KJ has Harris tight jeans disease. Mike, we are at that point of the show. It's unfortunate. I could have really done this for the next 50 hours, but unfortunately, Mike, this is the time. It's time. and it went really fast because everything went really fast. It came with it, Mike, in this tampering Monday. The tampering period started today at noon. 52 hours between that and the start of the official free agency on Wednesday, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's when it officially kicks off, Mike. So everything that you see now is before the official start of free agency as people are on the move. Guys all over the league, Mike, big names moving. NFL Super Bowl MVPs on the move. Pittsburgh Steelers, finally a wide receiver, that something to be excited about. Former Pittsburgh Steelers Kenneth Gainwell and Pierre, Mike, they are on the move to different cities. So many different things. Big players coming from Baltimore, big players going to New Orleans. So much stuff, Mike, in this 2 hours and 27 minutes of the tampering period. As we said at the beginning, it's time to tamper. Mike, it did not disappoint at all. It couldn't have been any more eventful through these last 2.5 hours than it was with this tampering period.
Yeah, it was flying through. And I'm just looking at some of these contracts real quick. Jalen Phillips, so first the highest value contract at $120 million, followed by Alex Pierce, $114 million, then a center at $81 million. The market on centers has totally just changed. It's sign Zach Frazier as soon as possible.
Right. Let's go to Somber. He says he has a hell of a stiff arm. He wants to be Derrick Henry so bad. I want him to be Derrick Henry so bad too. It'd be something. Steel Loyal says stiff arm Travis Hunter into the dirt. Pudgy, want to say welcome to Pudgy. Pudgy399 says y'all better add some bathroom stalls if you want to keep these players.
We're teaching. We're not only teaching them football skills. We're teaching them how to control that bladder.
Right.
Bladder control and intestinal control, boys. Let's go.
So that's right, Ty. That's Michael Pittman's a Steeler, baby. It's a start. And again, still 45 days away from the draft. Still 50 hours away from the official kickoff to free agency. So much in the first 2.5 hours. Guys, Somber says, waiting to hear some Isaac Seumalo news next. That certainly will tell us a lot, Mike. That's a big piece. The left guard in a anemic left side of the offensive line. Of course, what's going on with Broderick Jones. And again, if Seumalo would leave Mike via free agency, it's going to leave a pretty nice hole on the left side of that offensive line.
Yeah, it's going to be a big hole. Hopefully, we can sign someone. If not, though, man, look for the Steelers possibly trade up and get Vega Ione from Penn State. Man, he's the best guard in the draft, and he did play left guard in college, so wouldn't have to worry about, oh my God, we're playing him out of position.
Let's go to John, the dude. He says, first time on here, loved it. We'll be back. Great show, fellas. John, we appreciate that, dude.
We'll be back tomorrow, brother.
We're here every day. Every day. It never stops all year round. Always keeping up with the big scoop with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Somber says, yeah, Frazier and JPJ are about to get effing bag. No two ways about that, man. Steel Lawyer, we're gonna have to give Zach Frazier a bag. John, the Steeler Freak says this is why Lindenbaum is checking the market, Mike. And also Tater was welcoming dude. Let's go to Tyrone. Facts, Frazier, JPJ, Darnold, Herbig, all with the bag. Derpy, what's up, man?
I was just telling Mike, did you see that in the group chat?
He sent a meme over of, a fake NFL reporter going, sources have confirmed Jerry Jones has taken a nap.
Steeler Freak says the dude is always welcome. Absolutely. We love the dude. We love the dude. Aaron J, great show.
Oh, my.
What you got, Derpy?
Hold on, Derpy's got news.
A splash in the Bay. The 49ers are signing future Hall of Famer Mike Evans.
Wow.
Mike Evans to the 49ers.
Oh.
And Somber's confirming it on the board. Future Hall of Fame Mike Evans has agreed to terms with the Niners. There you go, guys. Just as we hit the 2.5 hour mark on the tampering period, Mike Evans leaving Tampa Bay, going to San Francisco. A lot of action in Tampa Bay, Mike. Guys coming, guys going. Tampa Bay, very active.
Wow, 3-year deal. Holy
years.
fuck is right.
Yeah.
God damn. And the dude, yes, we are here the same time, Monday through
Yes,
Friday.
dude. Yes, absolutely. Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every
Whoa,
day.
whoa. Wait, Steelers just signed Jamal Dean, the corner.
I don't know.
Wait, what?
Still loyal is reporting right now on the
Yes,
terrible board.
it just happened.
We just signed Jamal Dean, the cornerback, right, Mike?
Yeah, or Jamal maybe.
No.
Sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name. 3-year deal worth $36.75 million.
There you go. There's a new scoop, guys. Big scoop for the Steelers. Jamal Dean. Mike, one more time with these specs on that.
3 years, $36.75 million.
All right, there you go, guys. It is again, Mike, 2 hours and 30 minutes in, and this free agency officially hasn't even started for this offseason. Omar is cooking. Tyrone is saying, Steel Loyal says no fly zone. Somber says there it is. He gets a 3-year, $36.75 million. John Steeler Freak says Derpy's oh my sounds like a chick pulling out big meat in a porno flick. That's why we keep him. That is why we keep him.
That might be game ball.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Dean, he's not going to make the team any younger. He is 29, but I know, take this with a grain of salt, everyone. PFF grades had him as the 3rd best corner in the league. Overall, 10th in coverage. He did have 3 interceptions last year. That was 9th in the league. He's still playing at a high level. So, man, he also had 2 forced fumbles last year. So yeah, it's like 5 turnovers he's caused last year. I like this signing. He can still play at a high level.
The important question that Somber's asking, Mike, so wait, is it going to be Samuel Jr. or Dean, cornerback 2?
I think it's going to be Jamal Dean at corner 2. And then maybe him and Asante Samuel lining up on the inside.
Very interesting, guys. Mike, Derpy, things are starting to happen. And again, addressing these problems that the Steelers have this early on in free agency, Mike, just to kind of gives you, again, what you may be looking at when this draft comes here in 45 days. Still a lot of holes to fill. But, Mike, I think that the start of the tampering period here on Monday, 2 days prior to the official start of the NFL free agency, I think has gone well for us. Again, Gainwell, we thought was going to be on the move. Would have been nice to have him back. Again, the MVP of the team. But again, Mike, if the team changes dynamics and it's not what it was last year, as you were saying earlier, if Aaron Rodgers wasn't dumping down to Gainwell as many times as he did, Gainwell wouldn't have had the numbers in the overall production that he had last year. So again, with the dynamic of the team changing in a whole, adding a receiver, again, what else we're going to do in free agency, what else we're going to do in the draft, Mike, the loss of Kenneth Gainwell might not be as drastic as people think that it is, but at the end of the day, Mike, something is going to have to be figured out at that the running back room to kind of put a body in that spot. So again, we'll be keeping our eye on that as well.
Yeah, there's still guys out there we can get to. So this has been a fun one, man.
Yeah.
And Eccles as well, as Tyrone's mentioning, Mike, JPJ, Dean, Eccles, Samuels, and Samuel. I'm sorry, and at the end of the day, I mean, J Ram's going to be moved into safety, but he's still very versatile and can do different things in the defensive backfield. Mike, but again, at 29 years old, does this feel like more of anything that we did last year, bringing in a lot of veterans in that secondary and then not being able to keep up with the Jamar Chases in one particular game I'm thinking of? Mike, going 29 years old at this particular move, is it a little more of the same, or do you not feel that older player presence with him as well, and it's not going to make a difference in the secondary?
I think he still has the speed and the physical tools to hang with those guys. From the little bit that I saw from him last year, I like this move way better than the Darius Slay move. I think this will prove more. Like now, what do we do with Jalen Ramsey? Is he going to stay at safety?
No, that's what I'm saying. He's so versatile. You could do a lot of things with him now.
Yeah.
Especially
I like
signing these 2 corners today, Mike. I mean, that's an existing corner, of course, in Samuel, and then again with this later signing, Mike, that is going to make things interesting again in that secondary. So hopefully, again, we could stop some of the better passing teams this season. Mike, it's still a lot to happen as it's only 2 hours and 36 minutes into the tampering period. Guys, this is going to go on. This week is going to be busy again, all the way up until Wednesday before the official free agency does kick off at 4:00. I do want to say a couple of things, Mike, as we are at that point of the show. I do want to say, if you're coming to town or if you're even here in town and you're getting ready to go to the draft in the next 45 days, fans can now register for free to the 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh by downloading the NFL One Pass app or visiting NFL/Draft Access. Get on, guys, for your free entry to the 2026 NFL Draft. Especially, like I said, if you're coming into town, it might be a good idea to get on it ahead of time. That way, it's not so stressful as you get here and there's 700,000 people, possibly more. Mike, that number keeps going up when you're in town. So again, guys, jump on, register for a free entry to the NFL Draft, Mike, at the NFL One Pass or the NFL.com/draft access.
We got a clown signing.
Clown signing. Is Tater Tart still in the house? Go ahead, Derpy.
Derpy.
Devin Bush back to the Clowns.
Devin Bush back to the Browns.
I take that back. He's actually going to the Bears.
The Bears.
All right, interesting.
Ooh.
Devin Bush, a Bear. Mike went from Pittsburgh to Cleveland to Seattle.
3 years and $30 million. That's crazy for him.
Jeez.
Hey, good. You know what? He had some good numbers last year.
Yeah,
Good for him. Good
he's
for him.
improving. He's improving. I don't hate him. I mean, I hated him when he was here, but
Yeah, I loved him his rookie year in the first half of his second year before he blew out his knee. After that, good luck elsewhere.
Now he's somebody else's prime, wasn't he?
Exactly.
Even when he was in another city, he was still had assault charges on women and shit here. So you know what, Devin Bush, have good luck. I don't miss him. Let me go to right here to Jamie Carlo. Yes, Jamie Carlo. Jamie says this: Mike, Steelers just signed a corner. Who is he? Where is he from? Tell us a little bit about our newest cornerback.
Jamel Dean coming over from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. Another good big corner, man. 6'1", 206. Getting up there in age, but still playing at a high level. I like this. 3 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles last year?
Nice. We'll take it. Steeler Freak John says all these signed players are on the JG Wentworth app getting quick cash today.
877 cash now.
877 cash now. Yes. Yes, Dean is from Tampa Bay. He is solid, guys. There it is, Vegas with the number 877 cash now. He is a beast, guys. Excited about these signings today, Mike. And again, Steelers also moving elsewhere as Kenneth Gainwell on his way to Tampa Bay. James Pierre on his way to Minnesota. Dean here from Tampa Bay. Of course, Michael Pittman Jr., the big news early on. So much stuff, guys. Mike, a couple things before we do get ready to start to wrap the show up for the day. I do want to say these few things. The Pirates did split over the weekend, or no, they won both their games over the weekend. Mike, they beat the Tigers and the Red Sox. Buccos are 12-5 right now in the Grapefruit League and will be facing the Yankees today at 6:35. Also, the Penguins, they split over the weekend, Mike. They lose to the Flyers on Saturday in a shootout and beat the Bruins in overtime yesterday, 5-4, as the Penguins improved to 32, 17, and 14. They'll be back at it tomorrow as they travel down to Carolina to take on the Hurricanes. And finally, the other football team here in Pittsburgh are Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Mike, the champions last year in the soccer world. They lose their opener to Charleston Battery 2-1. They'll be traveling to play Loudoun United FC next week.
Loudoun.
It's time to get into the trivia question of the day. Mike, put on your thinking cap. Derpy, put on your thinking cap. Everybody on the board, this is the question of the day. Mike, this I like freaks, and again, at this time of year, I like looking at the defensive lineman in Carter from Philadelphia. I like, and the tight ends in Washington, right here in Pittsburgh. Mike, this is a freakish question about a question about NFL freakish players. I'm sorry.
All right.
Put on your thinking caps. Here we go. Richard Sly is the tallest player in NFL history. 300 pounds, but how tall was Sly? Again, Mike, this is the tallest player. Richard Sly is the tallest player in NFL history. He weighed 300 pounds, but how tall was Richard Sly? Take a minute to think that over, guys. We're live right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, right here on the Tube.
On the Tube. It doesn't like the way Derpy's sitting. Doesn't he look like that sleazy porn producer? It's like, girl, if you want this job, you know what you got to do. Just the way he was sitting and the way his mouth was going.
Well, that's how he always looks.
You shut your mouth, Mike.
I just look over and all I see is Derpy like this.
But again, guys, yes, if you are new today, every day, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day, right here on the Tube.
On the Tube.
Let's get to him, Mike. Steel Loyal saying 6'11", LOL. I don't know. We got fucking cornerback too. Who cares? We got a cornerback too. Vegas is casting couch Derpy. Dude says 7'2". Vegas says 7'3". Tortilla says 6'7". Mike, what's your thought process on this? Of course, I'm going to give you some hints along the way. He was drafted in 1967.
Okay.
So that puts an arrow with it. And he was drafted in the 10th round. 300-pound Richard Sly. Mike, I need to know from you how tall he is, because he was the tallest football player in NFL history.
I'm going to go with 6'10".
6'10". What's your any?
I'm just throwing a guess out there. I swear there had to have been at least someone that was at least 6'7" to 6'9".
Did you say
6'7"?
All right, I thought so. User Joe saying Too Tall Jones was 6'9". He says I'm going to say 7 foot.
Yeah, that's why I'm going 6'11". I'm going to take the under.
That's a big ass dude, man. 6'11".
Right.
So that's your final answer, Mike?
Yep, final answer.
All right, I'm going to lock you in. You were locked in at 6'7". I'm seeing 7'2". I'm seeing 7 foot. A lot of different guests on the board. Christophus with the 7'2". Derpy, you want to take a stab at this one, man? What do you think the tallest guy that ever played in the NFL, what his height was?
Give me 7 foot.
7 foot. And I'm going to go with that. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right, locking Derpy in at 7 foot. All right, guys, question of the day. Yinzer Joe, he was a Raider. 100% true. He was drafted by the Raiders in 1967 in the 10th round. Richard Sly. Richard Sly is the tallest player in NFL history. He weighed 300 pounds, but the question of the day is how tall? How tall was Sly? Guys, the answer, the question of the day, 7 foot tall. 7 foot tall. Tallest guy, right around the time of Super Bowl III. That would have been, or Super Bowl I, actually. Super Bowl III was 69, 67, right around the time of the beginning of the Super Bowl era. Guys, Richard Sly, tallest player in NFL history at 7 foot tall. We got Mike Pittman, baby. So excited. A lot going on today. As tampering period kicked off at noon. So much action. So many faces, so many people, so many new teams, names, everything else, guys. We'll certainly be on this the rest of the day into tomorrow. And of course, we'll be back at our regular time to just pick right back up, Mike. Who knows what it's going to be like this time tomorrow, but we're going to be here for it, guys. We hope to see everybody back then. A few things before we do get ready, though, Mike. I do want to say, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
Check it out, everyone. It is the 2dumyinzers.com. Throwing the link up in the chat right now. Is the number 2 DUMYINZERS.com. Usually on Mondays, I have a mock draft before the draft, or every week leading up to the draft. I did not do it today because I don't want to look like a fool having a mock draft up where I draft just wide receivers and cornerbacks, and we go out and sign these guys. So smart move on my part. But we also have a draft guru section for RB and Chop. They have some articles up there as well. We got all of our social media links over there, so check it out. The2dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. www.d2dumyinzers.com. That's www.d2dumyinzers.com. Lots of cool stuff over there. Mike does a lot of work. And again, as he says, from the draft team, a lot of articles going up lately from Chop and RB. Check it out, guys. www.d2dumyinzers.com. Let me grab a couple messages here. Mike Somber says Jamal Dean allowed the fewest yards per target of any cornerback in coverage last season, 4.7. Minimum 50 targets. Dean also allowed the lowest passer rating at 41.3 and the fewest target EPA. I'm sorry, at a negative 30.1. Mike, so compared to the numbers that JPJ has certainly been shutting guys down with, this is very encouraging, guys. Again, in the first couple hours of the tampering period, the Steelers are again looking good, touching on some of them big concerns, like wide receiver, cornerback. Kenny G and also Pierre on the move elsewhere, but guys, still a lot to go. And yes, the draft is still just 45 days away. A lot of things to happen under this new Mike McCarthy.
Mike Evans' contract has been released.
Mike Evans' contract. What's his contract look like, Derpy, over in San Francisco?
60.4.
What is it?
3 years,
60.4.
All right, Mike Evans. Mike, I didn't know if he was ever going to leave Tampa, but there you go.
I know, right? I thought he would retire there. See, Steeler fans and Steeler front office, it's okay to let aging veterans go elsewhere.
I agree. I do want to say welcome to Jamie Carlo as well. Welcome to the terrible board. Everybody, thank you. Let me grab a couple more of these things, Mike. This should just be where we at this point of the show. I do want to say this. As you are getting following all this information, maybe you need to stop, grab yourself a drink. If you're, you know what, stop and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. Mike, now available at Giant Eagle in 6 and 12 packs. But if you wanted to get a case, you could go wherever cases are sold. The people at Duquesne Pilsner certainly do us right, as they always include us in their promotions. We couldn't thank them enough. Guys, do stop, get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. Maybe if you don't drink, at least swing by their social media, hit the follow, show them some love. But I do want to say, Mike, it's always here on tap. We'd love it. Made right here in Pittsburgh. And it says right on the can, Mike, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Let's see. Let's also, I want to say this, Mike. You can also visit any of our social media. We're all over the place. You can check us out on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok. Swing by, hit the follow button, keep up with what's going on with the Two Dumb Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And finally, if you haven't had a chance yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like, sub, share, comment. It all helps in the algorithm, guys. We appreciate it all. Thank you so much. Mike, big day today was, again, we're certainly expecting it. I could not wait. Remember Friday, we couldn't wait for the weekend to be done just to get to this point, and we've blown through it. I already can't wait to be back tomorrow. Final thoughts for the day, and then I'll pass to Derpy, and then we're going to get ready to wrap it up for the day, unfortunately. Mike, final thoughts.
This was a great start to free agency for the Steelers. I'm liking it. I'm liking the contracts, the value so far. I can't wait to dig in to see the true length of these contracts. It wouldn't surprise me if they're really like 2-year deals to get out of in that third. That's usually how the Omar Khan contracts work. But man, I'm loving this. It's setting us up for the draft in the first 2 rounds to where we can go best player available. So now if we can continue free agency, getting some O linemen and D linemen, this draft's going to be rocking and rolling, man. We'll be able to trade up and get guys instead of just using all 12 picks. But man, this is some good shit to start free agency with, man. I am loving it.
Derpy, final thoughts.
Derpy.
Michael Pittman is my receiver too.
I got to be honest with you. A lot of people are going to be thinking
Lord.
about this all day, Derpy. Michael Pittman, Dean, nice pickups, guys. And again, we'll figure out the other holes. We have people leaving. A lot of things still to happen. This is just the tampering period to start this free agent frenzy week here in the NFL. The two Dum Yinzers are here for it every step of the way. Like here at the tampering period, noon started today. Again, 50 some hours until the beginning of free agency, which comes on Wednesday. So much to get into. Who knows who's still going to be coming? Who knows who's still going to be leaving? That's what we're going to be on top of, and this is what we'll be doing every day this week, Mike, as the free agency is in full swing before it's basically even in full swing. You gotta love it.
I'm loving it, man. This is my favorite time of the year.
Also, I did see that Mike McCarthy was at the Penguins game the other night. I did notice that over the weekend. It was good to see him at the Pens game back home in the Berg. So maybe he's getting comfy, and you get comfy, maybe you do better work. So at the end of the day, it was awesome to see. Let me grab a couple more. Derpy is saying that Mark Malone is the game ball of the day. Says Derpy gives him two tits up. I like it. I like it. I think we split, Mike. There was a couple. Whoever I gave the game balls too early, we're going to split with them, and then John or Mark on that one for the day. Great job, guys. Tyrone says, "Good show, dog." Hey, my man, always great seeing you, Tyrone. I hope things are going well. And how did the thing go with your nephew? How did that go? Throw up the results if you don't mind. I was wondering about you over the weekend how the playoffs went for your nephew. And Steel Loyal says, "Do we have the best corner duo in the league now, Mike?"
I think so. I think we do. I think our secondary is shaping up to be a really good one.
All right, guys, I do want to say thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys are, you make it happen. You guys always keep everything interesting here on the show. Love you guys on the board. Thank you so much. You are the lifeblood. I always say that. I always mean it. Thank you. As also, Mike, I do want to say thank you to everybody that's at home. Maybe you're watching in the at work, maybe you're in the gym, maybe you're in the car listening, whatever the case may be. Thank you too, guys. You guys all make it possible, and you all rock our world. We hope that we can only do a fraction of that back for you, what you give to us, guys. Great energy, great stuff all the time. Thank you. Let me grab a couple more of these messages here, Mike, and we are going to wrap it up. Tortilla says big game balls. Also, huge balls. Somber says huge balls. Jamie Carlos says, thanks, guys. I was working and buzzed in to check out on the pickups. Appreciate it. No problem, man. Come back. We're here every day.
Man.
Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day, Eastern Standard Time, right here on the tube. Tyrone says lost in blood round. He didn't wrestle the best this weekend. Hey, that's all right, bro. He'll be back next year. But you know what? Can't win them all. He got this close. Get him ready for next year. I'm pretty confident he'll win it. Guys, kind of come around the horn one time. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Derpy, anything?
Yes. Tonight, I have a live stream for introducing a new show called the Lights Camera Derpy. I'm doing a movie review for Hoppers, and then tomorrow I have 2 live streams as well for One Piece season 2, like live reaction, pre-show, and post reaction. So stay tuned for that tomorrow as well.
All right, check it all out. We're all right here on the Two Dum Yinzers Network, guys. Derpy, all kind of stuff. And I think he has a notification ads up as we speak. So if you look, you can see what time these are all coming on. So catch Derpy. Has a lot of cool stuff coming out. Check that out as well. Mike, speak now or forever hold your peace. Coming around to you.
I'm loving what we did early in free agency. I think this is some great shit. What up, Tyra or Jamal coming in at the very end? What up?
Always great seeing Jamal.
Michael Pittman, Jamel Dean. I love it. Re-signing Cole Holcomb and re-signing Asante Samuel Jr. I like it. I think Tortilla said, the loss of Gainwell, but the signing of Jamel Dean was like more or less you traded Kenny Gainwell for Jamal Dean. I will take that trade all day, every day.
Steel Loyal says Patriots have shown interest in Romeo Dobbs. Interesting. Jamal, my man, gang. Always great to see Jamal on a terrible board. Hope things are going good for you, sir. Somber says Ravens aren't tendering running back Keaton Mitchell. They might be looking for another running back. Somber, peace, my man. Always great having you, Somber. Somber keeps me on my toes, but I like that. Somber. Also, Jamal, thought we weren't having a show. You know what? We couldn't miss today, brother. There was no way, no how. It was the beginning of tampering period. A lot of things happened, and you know what? If we wouldn't have had a show today, Mike, I don't know what I would have did. Just because, again, so much opportunity and everything that happened. I would have probably just went and walked right off the bridge as I got off the show, or as that time was going on. But again, thank you so much, everybody. Again, everybody, regulars, everybody, the new names, guys. You guys are awesome. Again, we'll be back tomorrow to stay on free agency. And again, it's not even free agency time yet, Mike. That doesn't come until Wednesday. So a lot of things happening, guys, just in this period of time. So much more to come. Michael Pittman Jr., a Steeler. Dean, a Steeler. Gainwell, a Buccaneer. James Pierre, a Viking. So much stuff going on, Mike. And we'll be back here for all of it tomorrow. Of course, keeping on top of everything until that point. But again, one more time, swinging through Derpy. Anything else?
Michael Pittman is my receiver too.
All right, check him out. Check out Derpy this evening on the Dum Yinzers Network. He has a couple new things going on as well. Michael, right there, still loyal for you, Jamal. Right there, Jamal Dean and Joey Porter combined for 1,040 coverage snaps last season. For PFF, Mike, they allowed 1 touchdown compared to 4 interceptions and had a passer rating of 52.22 when targeted.
Oh my!
This is exciting, guys. This is exciting. I couldn't agree with you more, Jamal.
That is
dope.
Insane.
And again, bringing Michael Pittman Jr. in to play opposite side DK Metcalf. Guys, things are getting better. Things are gonna be good, guys. I'm telling you, keep your heads up. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope to see everybody then at our regular time.
Yes.
And again, all the new people, all new faces, everybody, thank you so much. We hope to see you moving forward as well.
Come on,
we're here for it all. Steel Loyal, Tyrone, the whole way down the list. Everybody, thank you so much for Derpy, for Finch, for RB, for Chop, for Mike, and myself, and the 2 Dum Yinzers, guys. Have a great Tampering Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.